Hello everyone. I wish you all a very good afternoon. I welcome you all to the 14th day of our international training program. Nothing gives us immense pleasure than knowing the idea which was seemed far-fledged before has become such a hit. So here we are about to finish the 15 days international training program very soon. So I want to welcome you all to the 14th day of the International Training Program on Advanced Entrepreneurship and Skills Development for Reshaping the Future of Indian Agriculture. This amazing initiative is taken by Just Agriculture with Agro-Environmental Education and Farmers Welfare Society, Punjab. Organizing amazing events like this has now become an integral part of Just Agriculture. And I'm sure the sessions are helping all the individuals present over here with an immense amount. It's going to be a very informative session for all of us. So our first orator is Dr. Sanjay Kumar Bharti. Dr. Sanjay Kumar Bharti at present is working as a head of the department in the veterinary anatomy at Bihar Animal Science University, Patna, and is actively engaged in teaching, research and extension activities of farms, animals and wildlife. He has completed his PhD through ICAR SRF Senior Research Fellowship Award from the UK. Dr. Sanjay is the author of 3 books, 2 laboratories manuals, 15 book chapters, 88 abstracts, 35 national and international research articles, and is editor of 20 international journals. He has been awarded as Young Teachers Award by Science and Technology Society 2018, Best Researcher Award by SAS International 2019, Global Icon Award and Global Academic Award 2020, National Excellence Award 2020, Best Research Award in the 9th International Scientist Awards on Engineering, Science and Medicine, held on 12th and 13th September 2020. So his major areas of researches are gross, histological, and developmental anatomy of farms, animals, and wildlife. Thank you so much, sir, for deciding to join our session. So over to you, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let us start right now.
Yes, sir.
We can start.
Yes, sir. We can start.
Okay. So very good afternoon to you all, and I heartiest welcome to all the participants in this gathering of the 15 days international online training on advance in agripreneurship and skill development for the reshaping future of Indian agriculture during this from 1st to 15th August. I heartiest thanks to the organizing committee of mainly the Just Agriculture, and that is also organized with the collaboration of the Just Agriculture magazine with the AEEFWS Society.
Sir, could you please make those slides in the full screen mode?
Okay, just a minute.
Just click on this slideshow option.
Is this an
Yeah, it's okay.
okay now? Okay. So we have chosen the topic in the present scenario. There is for the entrepreneur concept of view, we have selected the topic mainly concerned with the agriculture and allied science and the farmer which are generally involved in the rearing of the animals along with the rearing of some poultry. For nowadays, this is the this topic is very effective for the landless farmer or the marginal farmer, those having the scarcity of the land, and very few days, and we can say within a month, he is able to gain the money by this farming. So the topic of the today's deliberation of this 15 days from my side is the quail farming is the financial boom for the landless farmer. This is an report, and we have our organizer has already introduced by regarding me. At present, I am working as the head of department at Bihar Veterinary College, and that is under the Bihar Animal Sciences University, Patna. So this, prior to start the today's topic, we all know about the bater. In Hindi, we can say the bater, and in the scientific way, it is also known as the Cutermix japonica, because it is the first times originate from the Japan in the era of the 17th century, and its genus belongs to the Cutermix, and the phylum of this word is the Phasianidae. Phasianidae means it's called the bird which is adapted their habitations on the land, and they are able to survive on the land without any forming any nest. And the class of this bird comes under the AEEFWS, and this is the scientific name of the Cutermix japonica. So, dear participants, prior to start the today's topic, first we have must an idea regarding the history, where it originates. So, in the 16th of the century, we can say in 1599, it is the first time domesticated by the Japan, Asian continent of the Japan, and in the India. Generally, there are two types of the quail, or we can say the bater is found. One generally present in the forest, in the jungle, and another is adopted by the farmer also. So there is the difference on their the physical appearance related to their phenotypic characters. One is the black-breasted quail, and another is the brown color quail. That means when we are going to identify just after the hatching, the one having the feather pattern throughout the length black color, and another is the brown color. That is under the Japanese quail. And first time in the India in 1974, that was transported from the California and adopted by the Indian in the different state, mainly first times in the Uttar Pradesh of the IVRI, Indian Veterinary Institute of the Ajat Nagar. And at present, total the 55 species of the quails, that is the Japanese quails, are present in all over the India. Out of this, Japanese quail is the largest species in comparison to the 45 species of these quail. So we have already discussed regarding the identification of the phenotypic character. You see here in this diagram, in this slide, there are two quails, or we can say the Japanese quail are showing here. One is the black-breasted quail. That means the feather pattern from head to up to the caudal part of this length of the whole body is covered by the feather, and these feathers are black in color. But another is the brown colored Japanese quail, that is all pattern of the feathers are brown in color, and that is generally present in our Indian environment, and there are the different places of the India where it available for the rearing of and research purpose, and also to provide the farmer for their livelihood. So these Japanese quail are available in our country. Next is introduction. Now question is arises, why is there a need of this farming? So there are, when we are going to compare with the chicken and broiler on the layer in the different species, those you are now rare by the, we can say the largest capacity. And in this comparison, this is very beneficial for related to their husbandry as well as the economical point of view, and also as for their cash point of view. So first, it is very, because their size is small and this is easy to handle, and we have got, and for their rearing, they are very adaptable. They adapt the any environment. Not because in India have the different state have the different environment. So these birds are adapted itself by itself according to the environment, and they are fast growing. Fast growing means having very short generation period, and within a month, we can say within a month, his body is ready to shell, and they attain our maturity fast in comparison to the chicken. And in a year, minimum we can harvest, means from day old to shelling age of this bird, we can generally at the minimum 2-3 generations we can harvest in a minimum in a year. And this is a pilot animal, we can say, very adaptable for the environment as well as the for the study point of view related to their physiological status, nutritional, and the genetic point. This is considered as the pilot animal and is the good source of the egg and meat production. In compare, we are going to compare with the chickens, very limited times, you can say in the 45 days, when attain the age of 45, this bird is ready to hatch, ready to laying the egg, and the number of egg are more in comparison to the chicken. We will discuss later on. And right now, this is the popular. This is popular for the meat as well as the chicken. Their meat as well as the egg in Japan, Singapore, France, and in the Hong Kong. Now there are some advantages we have already discussed. Why should we rear this husbandry adopted by the farmer, those who are landless, or we can say the marginal farmer. And in this regard, they have advantage to comparison to the chickens. In this case, there are requirement of a space is very minimum in comparison to the other birds. And there is very low investment. We can say we can rear this bird on the our expenditure, those who are use the household waste material. And these quail are the comparatively a studied bird in comparison to the other bird, and can be marketed at the earlier age. That we have already discussed within 45 days, that is the maximum days, 40 to 45 days or 35 days, you can start for the market for the selling purpose. And the sexual maturity is earlier attained. The sexual maturity is earlier in comparison to the other bird. That is 42 to 48 days of age. He is ready to hatch, laying the egg. And the high rate egg laying in comparison to the chicken. Chicken is the annually lay about 180 to we can say 225 like that. It depends upon the breed of the chicken. But this laying capacity is maximum is about 280. That is the largest in comparison to the chicken. And this having a good taste of the quality in compared to the chicken. Their meat is having good taste, and for the health point of view, fat content in comparison to the chicken, this is less. That is the best for the human consumption. Now for the nutritional point of view, the egg are on par that of the chicken egg. Moreover, they contains less cholesterol. Now we know right now there is the various diseases arising due to the consumption of the egg, those having the maximum amount of the cholesterol in the yolk part of the egg. But in the quail egg, the yolk contained very less cholesterol. That is the beneficial for the health point of the view. And egg and meat contain the more vitamins and the amino acid, feed minerals, and other components that should be needed for our the body, and that is more beneficial in comparison to the chicken meat and their egg also. And it also promotes the growth of the brain of the body and our the younger, we can say the children at the certain level. When we provide this egg and the chicken for the children, that will be more beneficial for the development of brain and the total part of the because of the body, because this meat of the quail contains the nutrient which is more beneficial for the development of our the neurons and the nervous system. So it play a vital role for the development of the brain in our children. And the meat and the egg are the nutrient of the diet also recommended as per the availability, because we all know in the nowadays the market is not easy to available this bird and their chicken and the egg. So the doctor also advised to the pregnant or the nursing mothers for their egg as well as for the meat for their consumption for the better development of their kids. So now, what are the economical factor which is more beneficial in comparison to the broiler, or we can say the layer farming of the chicken? So quail farming is an economical, viable, and the technological visible, because they are very rash to the disease. Means we can say they are resistant power, internal the immune system are more stronger in comparison to that of the other birds. And we have already discussed there are the very short generation period. We can say we can harvest minimum 3 to 5 and the maximum 8 to 10 harvesting from the one flock annually. And in this bird, there is no vaccination is required, because they are the disease resistant, or there are various diseases arises in the bird during rearing of the layer and broiler chickens, and for that their expenditure is also more related to the vaccination cost. But here there is no any need of vaccination because their disease condition resistant power is more. And for the rearing, a space requirement is very, in comparison to, we are going to compare with the birds. So here in 200 square centimeter for adult quail, and their sexual maturity is for the meat, it's about 21 to 48 days. And having the high laying intensity, female start the laying in 45 days, but those we are going to rearing the chickens, they start their laying on 120 days. That means about the 4 months of the there is. Now the practical utility. This Batter husbandry has been more practical utility in comparison to that of the chickens, because they offer an opportunity to alternative of this chicken farming, and this is more effective for the farmer, those having no land, more land, and very less capacity, they can rear this, adopt this farming. And this is useful as the table delicacy. And we have already said this is the pilot animal for the research and education purpose of our in present scenario. So there is a difference between the male and female. Now question is that just after the hatching and after the certain age, how we can differentiate either it is the male or the female, because the farmer those who are going to rear this, adopt this husbandry, and at the certain time there is need of the some feed from a starter to the finisher. It depends upon their the sex, and also those male and female. Male is generally rare for the meat purpose, and female is rare for the egg purpose. So when we are going to compare at the same age, just we are going to attach the maturity. Before maturity, the female are heavier than that of the male. That is about 200 to 250 grams, and in the male it is about 180 to 20 grams. And in the female, long pointed feather with the black speckles on the throat and upper breast. That means when we are going to compare the male and female, the female just near the head, neck region, or the we can say the breast regions are black in color, and that in the female that is the brown in color. And it also contains a gland. This is the characteristic feature of this bird. There are present the cloacal gland just near the opening of the terminal part of the digestive tract. This cloacal gland is the identification mark for identify either it is male or female. Just after hatching of this bird, we can say differentiate, or we can say categorize either it is the male or female just after the hatching or 1 day of the age of this bird. Now, this is the this husbandry is to provide for the better sanitation of the housing. Following points should be the considered, and they depend upon their the age also. So there are two types of the housing system. We all know the one is the deep litter system, and is the cage system. For the certain age, up to the 2 week of the age, that means up to the 15 days of the age, this bird is reared under the deep litter system. And for the 6 quail can be reared in a square feet of the floor. So we can say there are very less space is required for the rearing of this quail. And after 2 weeks of the age, quail can be reared in the cage system. And this will help to the gain the body weight also. Because after the 2 week of the age, there is a need of some extra in case of providing of the some electricity and the nutrient related to their growth of the body. So each unit is about 6 feet. When we are going to discuss about the cage system management, how should we cage system for the proper growth of this animal? So each unit is about 6 feet in the length, and 1 foot is the width, that is divided into 6 sub-units for the cage system. And this cage can be arranged in the 6-tier system, 1 over 2 over 3, 3 over the 4. Like the 6-tier system we can adopt if there is very less land you have. So it depends upon the age. First, from hatching to the 2 weeks of up to the 2 weeks of the age, cage system and how many animals should be required for the rearing. So in the cage system up to the 2 weeks of the age, it is about 2, 3 2.5 and 1.5 square cubic feet for their cage system. And just we going to the attain the age 3 to 6, in between 3 to 6 which of the age, we should separate it from the this part, and their capacity is more in comparison to the previous, and the number of birds is also required less for the rearing system. So now cage system we have already discussed. One by one we can rear the bird in the 6-tier system, and bottom of this system fixed with the removable wooden plates. That means here the bird are rearing, and at this place there is a rearing system, and this rearing system is for the this wooden is for we can take out and we can insert inside, and that contains the feed, and after the consumption the feed we can also supply the water. And the long narrow feed trough are the placed in the front of the cage, and water trough are also placed at the back of the cage for their drinking purpose. And these those bird has attended their the sexual maturity for the laying. So the commercial egg layer are usually hatched in the colony of the 10 to 12 bird per cage. Means is that when you are attending about the age of the 45 days, then should be separated from here, and in the one cage it should about 10 to 12 birds be kept, and they are ready to hatch the egg, lay the egg, and after laying this egg, we can separate from this wooden utensil. And generally we observe that the laying bird always, or we can say lay in the evening time. Now there are the feed management. So this feed is generally, or we can say easily available in the even a small market of our Indian country. So there are we know maize, sorghum, rice, brown coconut cake, sunflower, soya meal. They all are available mineral mixtures like, and as per their age, we can provide the amount of the feed and the and their proper mixture of the feed. So feed material should be made of the small particles that will be easy to pick up by the bird. And 5 big old kale consume about 100 gram of the food. Means half kg. Later on we will discuss that the feed conversion ratio in comparison to the other bird are more, so they attain their maturity earlier than that of the other bird. And these ingredients like the deoil, rice bran, coconut cake, that should provide the quail to the 6-month-old consume about the 30 to 50 grams feed per day. There is no need of the maximum feed for the their better growth of this bird. And the quail are require about 400 gram feed for the production of the 12 eggs. So we can calculate the 1 egg cost in comparison to that of their feed ingredient that is used by this quail bird. Now the feeding we have already discussed previously, that there are three tasks of the feed should be provided the animal, that is depend upon the status of the animal. So prior, just after hatching, so feed should be the starter up to the 1 month of the age. Later on, from 1 month to 6 weeks of the age, finisher racer, and when they are ready to lay the starting laying, or for the breeder after the 6th week of age, the feed should be the different. So a starter feed is the more crucial time, because at that time there is a need of some nutrient as well as the mineral, or also some vitamins which play vital roles to development of or the proper growth of the all system of their body of this bird. So there is a need of the special management and the special care at the starter period. And at this time, their balance and the higher nutrients should be required, should be provided this bird. And we have already discussed regarding the FCR, feed conversion ratio. Feed conversion ratio is 1.75 to 1.80. That means this feed conversion ratio is, we can say, in comparison to the chickens, is more than that of the all bird that is reared by the farmer right now. So nutrient requirement, what are the nutrients required at the different age of this bird? One is rare for the broiler, another rare for the laying purpose. So for the broiler, we have already categorized the feed, starter, finisher, and in the layer, a starter, grower, and the layer. That is depend upon the shakes as will depend upon their age. So a starter for the layer, there we all consume the in the human being also there is need of some nutrient as well as the in the form of nutrient like carbohydrate, fat, proteins, and mineral mixture at the certain age for the certain amount. So in this bird also the energy requirement for the starter 2800, that is somewhat equal to that of the all we can say broiler and layer. In the broiler little bit less, and protein requirement in the form of percentage is 27 in case of the broiler starter, and just we are going to attain the more age, then it is decreased from the previous amount. And about the calcium content of the feed in the broiler is a little bit more than that of the layer bird. And just the attending the laying age, these requirements are little bit less than that of the previous age. So protein, calcium, phosphorus is essential for their growth of the muscles, we can say, and also for the that part involved in the formation of egg. So this is essential for the nutrient requirement of this bird. Now egg productions. What times take for the laying in this bird, and what is the nutrient content present inside the egg in comparison to that of the chicken egg, we can say the bird. So this egg is smaller than that of the chicken, and the average age at the egg production is started about on the 45 days of their age. And in a year, average egg production is about 300. And the lay, we have already discussed the laying procedure, or we can say the laying ability in this bird is generally in the evening time 3 to 5. And differentiation point of the other bird, this external surface of these egg having a spotted color like a structure that may be the brown or the black or the buff blue like, and its weight is about 10 to 12 grams and 7 to 8% of the hen body weight. Now, consumption of the quail egg, we can compare with that of the also with the chicken egg. Here, the water content of the egg is about 72%, protein is the 40%, fat 11%, and carbohydrate is very less, and total S is 1%, and it provides the 650 kilojoules per 100 grams of this egg. So this requirement in comparison to that of the bird, chicken, in carbohydrate is also more and fat is also more. That is not suited for the, not advisable by the doctor for the after the certain age, or the men having the diabetic, or we can say the hypertension, because the more carbohydrate is not suited for the person who suffering from the diabetes. And now there the quality of meat, the dressed quality, we can say the dressing percentage, how much meat obtained from per kg of their total weight. So in the chicken, it is about 60 to 65% of the dressing percentage. But here in the chicken, the meat weight about 70 to 73%. That is about we can say 75% of their live weight. And one of the bird of this quail, which contain 1.5 kg, 140 grams. Out of this 150 grams, we can consume, we can dress the meat about 100 grams from its the body weight. So comparison of this composition of the raw meat with the chicken. So what is the difference between their content in form of the nutrient, moisture, protein, fat, carbohydrate, and minerals? So when we are going to compare. So in this condition, the percentage of these all nutrient in comparison to the chickens, moisture is more, protein is somewhat little bit less, and the fat contents as well as the carbohydrate are in this is carbohydrate contains in comparison to the chickens is less, and mineral are more for the benefit of the nutrient point of the view for the consumption for human. So what is the acceptance of plurality of this meat and egg? Why we can accept or we can popularize this meat and egg of this better, or because of quail. So quail meat or egg are now widely accepted in India, and due to the small size, this is the alternative for, or we can say the alternative to the chicken eggs, and they make attractive snack, salad, and ingredient those you are using as in the many of the restaurant in the form of their snacks, and the value addition is possible with the products like the right now they are going to manufacture in the form of egg pickles brand quail egg in the form of pickles and the other products also. Now, is quail farming a suitable option to the trend of the meat and egg production for the farmer? Yes, definitely, because it attained the early marketing age in comparison to that of the chicken, and the sexual maturity is also earlier than that of the chicken, and high rate of the laying means in the 1 year we can harvest from this bird to 280 to 30 eggs per year, and occupation for the minimum floor space requirement, and 8 to 10 birds we can keep in the same space house in this. Means we can say that for the single rearing of a chickens we require those amount of the space that will be suitable for here about 8 to 10 quail bird. So we all know what is the incubation and what is the hatching. So incubator that use the hatching chicken eggs can be used, and a wire mesh of the grid of the 1.5 to 1 inch should be fitted on their sitter tray, and just after hatching the egg, after means incubation period of the quail is here 18 days, and egg should be a store for the proper development of the whole part of the body inside the egg. So it should be a store on 130 degrees centigrade at the 80% of the relative humidity for 5 to 7 days, and should be fumigated with the formaldehyde at that time, because there is some infection may be appeared over the egg, and that should be the 20 minutes for a storage with we can say the external surface of the egg is sanitized with this fumigation process. And now the incubation time and the hatching related to their temperature and humidity. What the temperature amount and humidity is required for the proper development or proper growth of this. And this is related to the incubation and hatching. So from 0 to 14 days, temperature should be 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit is required for the better development of their body, and humidity should be the 60%. And when the age is towards more than that of the 2 weeks, then temperature should be decreases a little bit, and humidity should be increased. And that is the turning of the egg during this incubation at the hatching period. Hatching time, it should be 4 to 6 times in a day, and just those age attended after the 2 weeks, there is no need for the turning of the egg in this period. So if you are going to listen of this production of chicken at your farm, the following information may be helpful. When we are going to our farmers, we are going to adopt or we are going to adopt this farming system, they should have an idea, knowledge about this one. What should be ratio kept for the laying purpose or for the we can say the meat purpose. So male and female ratio in this parent stock should be 1:2 or less than that of. We can say that equal. There is no, but here 1:4 we can say in the chicken, sometime 1:8 also. So quail start the laying at the age of 6 weeks, that is about the 42 to 45 days, and the quail lay most of the egg during the evening time, that is about 3 to 6 p.m. And fertilized egg from the female, the age 8 to 20 weeks can be collected, and eggs should be collected every frequently and carefully, because there is a chance during first day of laying should be store this egg with the proper humidity and temperature is required here, and eggs should store at the with the 50-70% of the relative humidity before their incubation period. Now, each quail farming is suitable for option for the meat and egg production. Yes, we have already discussed, because on their marketing, if the market is available for their consumption, they attain their maturity age earlier and ready to sell in the market. And egg number of egg laying is also more than that of the chicken, and this for the rearing require minimum space. And we have already discussed in the single space of the chicken, we can rear about 10 to 8 to 10 bird here. Well, So management of the quail chick just after the hatching, what points should be needed by the farmer, and what should the knowledge related to their first day of the chick hatching of this bird. So there is a special care from the beginning started. The day old quail chick usually weigh its weight is about very less, we can say 8 to 10 grams. So we should have take the precautions related to the handling of this bird. And the quail chicks need to more temperature at the previous time for the 14 days, and later on temperature should be decreases for their rearing. And absence of adequate temperature and exposure, it may lead to the some diseases at that time, and they lead to their mortality. So just after the hatching, it's required about 99 degree temperature, that is 99 degree Fahrenheit, and later on it decreases up to the 90 degree. So at that time there is a need of more care in comparison to the age which contained about after the 2 weeks of the age. So there are some diseases also present, because we have already discussed here there is no need of vaccinations, but some parasitic disease and bacterial disease, and we can say some viral disease also affect their health. So the farmer should must have a knowledge what diseases should appear at the which times appear, and what should take precaution for that. So these coil are the very sensitive during the first week of the age, and but the beneficial point is that there is no need of the vaccination, because the immune system are more stronger than that of the other chickens. So here, for the rearing point of view, there is also cost saving, because the about to total rearing cost of the 5 to 6%, we can say up to the 10% cost is going towards the vaccination in the other part. But here there is no need of the vaccination, and there are very less at present. We can say there is no any severe parasitic reported in this bird. So there is no need of the dewormer here. So there is no any life-threatening related to the parasitic disease. And resistant to the certain Ameria. Ameria is also parasitic pathogenic Ameria, Tenella, Ameria. Like these are the agent which is responsible for create the disease in this bird. But there are some strains are available. So farmer have must an idea of what are the diseases appear in this bird. But in comparison to that of the chicken, very little diseases are appeared here. So another is the brooder anemia. Pneumonia is the common common cause of the loss of the farmer in the chicken rearing farmer. But here is also there is the chance of the brooder pneumonia if there is a deep litter system is not followed by the proper protocols. Then there may be chance of the brooder pneumonia. And in this case, we can provide the calcium propionate 2 kg per ton of the feed. Before providing the feed, we can mix this calcium propionate 2 kg in 1 ton of the feed that prevent the brooder pneumonia in this bird. And there is also some chance of the gastrointestinal tract diseases in this ulcerative enteritis that is caused by the Clostridium colonium. And for that, we can provide the streptomycin, bacitracin, and the neomycin, 50 to 100 grams per ton of the feed, which prevent, or we can say as a preventive measure of this disease. And here the mortality rate are in comparison to that very less, that is about 5 to 10%. Now for that we are going to advise at in present hour in India there are the some central institute related to this avian. They provide for the rearing and for the husbandry of this batir. Generally first time adopted by the Coimbatore. And right now there is a central event research institute in Ajat Nagar in Uttar Pradesh, which provide the bird for the rearing of or for the egg as well as for the meat purpose. And also in the Coimbatore AEEFWS hatcheries and the poultry breeding center, they also provide this from the fertilized egg, or we can say day old chick for the rearing of the farmer. And some in some state also having this central poultry breeding farm, which provide for the farmer for the rearing in the Mumbai, Bangalore, Bhubaneswar, Chandigarh, and the Pune also, that is available for the farmer. We can raise this farm. So this is all about for the quail husbandry and their benefit related to the farmer in respect of the economical as well as also for the health point of view. So thank you so much. And you have any query or any question related to this husbandry or related to this topic, you welcome.
Thank you so much, sir, for this valuable session and for your valuable time. So we have few questions from the participants.
Yes.
The first question is, what is the initial cost for starting quail farming venture?
It depends upon how number, what number should be they going to rear this animal. So rearing cost is very less in comparison to that of this. We can rear this bird in 8 to 10 rupees. We can say 8 to 10 rupees, and central government for this provide also subsidy after the final attending the age of their hatching or age of their laying or age of their harvesting. So they are going to, we can multiply one for the selling of the one word, they can earn about 30 to 35 rupees. Because the market rate is depend upon the demand. It may be one word is about 65, we can say 70, sometimes average is the 55. So your cost of the rearing for the attend the maturity, it is about 25 to 30 per bird, and you will get in spite of that 60 rupees.
Okay, so the next question is, what challenges entrepreneurs will face when they opt quail farming?
Yes, this is the major challenges related to their this farming. First, you had to many of the people are not aware. I mean, now have an idea about the utility and about the meat as well as the egg nutrient content. So farmer facing the problem after the harvesting at that age, able to maturity of the for the selling. Marketing is the problem. So when we are going to connect with the end user, we can say right now also used in the hotels, we can say in many places. So these are the main constraints, we can say they're related to their earning point of view. If the marketing is good, then there is no problem related to their rearing and the husbandry.
Okay, so the next question is, do quail eggs have any allergic response to humans?
Which response?
Do quail eggs have any allergic response to humans?
At present, because the content of this quail egg is similar to that of the chicken egg, but in relatively at present there is no any case reported. Major case we can say reported for the allergic point after the consumption.
Okay, so the next question is, what are the most common diseases in quail and what is the treatment?
We have already discussed the 2-3 common diseases. One is the ameria, another is the brooder pneumonia. Brooder pneumonia, that is mainly due to the when we are going to rear in the deep litter system, due to the overcrowding and due to the use of the feed. The feed contains the some we can say the feed is used which contains the fungal infections. They may lead to the pneumonia, respiratory tract infection. For that, we can use the calcium propionate. We have already discussed 2 kg per ton of the feed. And other diseases are not vital diseases reported here for their life point of the threatening life point of the bee, and they attain their age within 1.5 months. And we already discussed there is no need of vaccination because no any viral disease reported, and there is no bacterial and protozoan diseases which is life threatening.
Okay, so the next question is, quail farming having a lot of benefits like disease resistance, early maturity, early market. Is it better than chicken, even than why it is not getting popularity among the farmers?
Yes, I am totally agree with the questionnaire. because in our social society, we can say the farmer present we can say go through the YouTube regarding the quail farming. Quail farming in the place where they connected with the market, and the people those aware about their taste as well as the nutrient content, they really demanded this food. And we have mentioned also the 2-3 countries, Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan. There is in the many restaurants for they needed, but in India they and we are not aware about their taste and about their egg quality. So that's the problem for the, we can say, their extension of these professions.
Okay, so the next question is, can we use artificial light to fulfill the light requirement for egg production in quail?
It depends upon the, we can say this, because in the India there are season variations. But here for the few days, we can say up to the 14 days of age, it require more temperature, and that temperature should be, I have mentioned 99 degrees Fahrenheit. If at that time we are not provide the natural light is not sufficient for that, but it depends upon the season. If the summer season, at that time there is no need of, we can say very less, one bulb is required for the about 30 to 40 this day old chick to up to the 14 days of the chick for their management. So natural light is depend upon the geographical condition, either it is cold or humidity or we can say hot. So it depend upon that.
Okay, so the next question is, where someone will get the equipment, accessories to rearing quail?
That is just very simple, because nowadays for the chicken rearing, this is available in the for the deep litter system. There is no need of any utensils required here. Only for the watering, we can use the plastic material in the form of the bucket, in the form of the small mug or jug, we can say available in the market. We can provide, and in the very less, we have already mentioned about the space requirement. For then the deep litter system, we provide the feed in a small utensil, and for the water also a small utensil. But just after attending the too big the age, there is a need of the cage system, especially for the laying bird. For this, if you consulted to this, we can say any mechanics, and in the markets is also available for the selling. If you say that I want to just we are going to rear the different bird, we can say a pet bird, accordingly they designed and will be available in market.
Okay, so the next question is, can we get quail from Patna for a rearing purpose, and can we meet also for the training purpose?
Actually, for in the Patna, just near to Patna, about 20 kilometers, there is Hajipur district, under the Vaishali district. Hajipur is the famous for the providing this butter, not only in the Bihar, but also in eastern region of the Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. So in Hajipur it is available, and in our veterinary college Patna, this is under Bihar Science University, we also provide the quail for the landless farmer or the marginal farmer at a very low cost.
Okay, sir, but Manish Ranjan is asking, can he meet also for the training purpose?
Definitely, you can share my numbers because already given, and the email. They will consult to, he will consult to me, and I will suggest it regarding this.
Okay, so the next question is, in India, what is the scope of quail farming, and is it legal here?
Legal.
Yes, sir.
From the Government of India Animal Husbandry Department, it is not any legal issue, we can say, because right now the our this present government is focused toward the entrepreneurship. So for this husbandry, not only this we can say the quail husbandry, but also for the law industrial purpose related to the agriculture, also provided about 30 to 40% of subsidy. And this is after the filling the farm, they provide the bird for the rearing on the very effective cost of their subsidy.
So the next question is, do quails incubate their eggs like chicken?
I have already discussed there is a need of some temperature to the humidity, but itself quail after the hatching, it is observed that because it is always laying in the evening time, and their hatching laying capacity is about in 2-3 days it lay 2 egg. So their number of egg are more. So because their size is small, so they are not incubating all egg. So for that we have to separate the egg just after laying, and we should keep in a proper temperature and humidity.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, do colors of quail eggs affect the nutrients present inside?
Not, it is not affect, because inside the female there are the different tracts available in female genital systems that is responsible for the coloration of the egg. So that is the outer covering is, we can say, the calcium coated calcium carbonate is present, and this color is not going inside the yolk, or we can say inside the albumin. So it depends. This color is mainly due to the external epithelium, we can say, of the different tract, infundibulum, magnum, uterus, and vagina, that is responsible for to provide the proper shape of the egg and the color of the egg, and that not involve their interfere there the nutrient content.
Okay, sir. The next question is, what's the best quail feed?
In our we can say the rural areas, that is easily available some content that is not used by the that is easily available, we can say, and after we can say in the kitchen is also available. So like we can say maize, rice, groundnut, soybean, and sometimes the in the form of mineral mixtures in the market available, like fish meal. So this is very easy. Makka is all places available. Rice is available, and we make the mixture. Makka is used for 45%. Chawal is 15%. Soybean, khal, we can say 15%, and 10% of the mixture, mineral mixture. Along with that, just after the hatching, we can say the good or shakkar is available. So that is in the 4 to 5% along with the water is provided, and that is suitable for their the proper growth. There is no need to purchase in more amount. We can, a farmer is also in the home is available makka, chawal, mungfali, and with the proper ratio they make the feed and should be provided to the bird for their proper growth and development.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, apart from the diseases, is there any other challenge in quail rearing?
Because main challenge is that your marketing. If you are in consult with the users, mainly in the restaurant or the hotel or any where demand is more, then there is no any challenges related to their loss in respect of the health or in respect of their feeding cost.
So do we need a government license to sell quail commercially?
And there is no need of for the rearing of any farmer at present. There is no need of the license for this one. And if the person, those you are going to adopt this husbandry, if consulted through the animal husbandry department, and government will help them related to the husbandry and will provide the knowledge and training also. At present, we are going to train the person, those you are involved in this profession, those who wanted to involve in this preventive professions.
Okay, sir. The next question is, Can you please share some tips for marketing of quail meat and eggs?
Marketing tips is that we have already gone through that point. Marketing tips is that it depends upon the users and the hotel. In many hotel, the demand is that, and generally in the winter season. Winter seasons, demand are more as a meat of the quail in the hotel, and the other part, we can say those who are selling in the open market also.
Okay, so the next question is, which housing system is better commercially, litter system or cage system?
We have discussed for the certain age, the need of the deep litter systems up to the 2 week of the age, means 14 to 16 or 17 days, like that. Later on, it should must transferred in the cage system, because when we are going to the rear this word for the laying system, so when they lay the egg, legs should be separated, and in the cage system there a space requirement is less, because we have already the 6-tier system. But in the deep litter systems, required comparison to the cage system more space, and also there is a chance of some we can say the animal sometime fighting to each other. But in cage system there are limited and a space is available, and for that there is a more aeration is also available, and there is a less chance of brooding pneumonia in these conditions.
Okay, so the last question of the session is, quail farming has so many benefits and still it is not as popular as poultry. Could you tell why?
Yes, due to the, we can say, about because we rear the chicken for their meat as well as for their egg quality. Due to the size of the egg, one thing is that size of the egg, and another the quality of the meat, and next is the awareness about their nutrient content of the meat. Very less people are know about their meat content, which contain the more contain the nutrient which is more beneficial to that of the chickens, and they are they have no any details idea their utility, their nutrient, those we have already discussed. So these are the problem. But being those who once time used this quail meat, butter meat, then next time he also saw the desire and spread the about the taste to the other people. So this is the best for that of the chicken. But due to the less use, we can say, and the less knowledge, in present scenario, the quail rearing husbandry is not popular than that of the chicken.
Okay, sir, we have covered all the questions. So thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time and for these valuable sessions. We have learned a lot from you. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much for your inviting me for this speech.
Thank you so much, sir. So for the second session, I would like to invite Saharsha Reddy to do the introduction of the second guest. So over to you, Saharsha. Thank you.
Good evening to one and all present here. I am Saharsha Reddy. Now I take this privilege to introduce the speaker for today's session, Tapas Chandra. Millets are also called as nutri-cereals, as they provide most of the nutrients required for normal functioning of human body. They are highly tolerant to drought and other climatic conditions which we are facing in this era. They also require less inputs like fertilizers, pesticides, water than compared to the other crops. Most of our Indian farmers are small and marginal. Hence, millet consumption and its cultivation serve the needs. Tapas Chandra Roy, sir, is a certified farm advisor on millets, and he has been recognized by National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management and Indian Institute of Millet Research, Hyderabad. He is an agriculture graduate and did his MBA from Vaikunth Mehta National Institute of Cooperative Management, Pune. Currently working as an Assistant Agriculture Officer in Department of Agriculture and Farmers Empowerment, Government of Odisha. He is promoting millets from farm to plate so that the goodness of millets is reached to many people. Looking after the implementation of Odisha Millet Mission in the ground level. He is helping farmers from sowing to harvesting by imparting training and providing advisory services. He has a position to develop the delicious and innovative millet recipes and has been awarded at the national level. He was the first winner for making millet rasgulla. He is a YouTuber and a blogger on millets. He has created a YouTube channel in which he is promoting millets by covering every aspect of it. In his YouTube channel, he is covering millet technologies, processing, recipes, and many more. On these digital platforms, he is taking initiative to share his knowledge, skills, learning, and all about millets so that awareness is created in this digital world and his advices and recommendations may help farmers, consumers, entrepreneurs, and all the other stakeholders in their decision making. Now, I would like to welcome Tapas Chandra sir to enlighten us on the topic role of millets and business opportunities for entrepreneurs. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction. So we'll start the presentation now. Is the presentation visible?
Yes, sir, it's clearly visible.
Okay, thanks. First of all, good evening. Good evening to all of you. As she gave the nice introduction, and today in this topic on this online training, I will be focusing on millets and what are the business opportunities for the entrepreneurs. So the flow of my presentation will be what are the millets, what are the types of millets, nutritional values of millets, health benefits of millets, what are the consumption trends of millets in India and also in abroad, and what are the millet business plan the entrepreneur can plan out or carry out, and what are the points to be remember before starting a millet business, and last will be the conclusion. So basically millets are a group of small seeded grass and which belongs to a Poaceae family. And if you see the nutrient and also the if you see the age means around 3,000 to 7,000 years back, millets were grown all over the country and also the abroad. But now this millet has been recognized by Government of India as a nutri-cereals. You must have heard that now in 2018, the National Year of Millets was celebrated. And in 2013, the proposal of India in the United Nations for celebrating the International Year of Millets. Now, if you look into the millet scenario in India, there are 9 types of millets grown in India. Basing on the area and also the size of the grain, the millets are categorized into two major parts, that is major and minor. Major will go, I think, pearl millet, sorghum, and finger millet will be going under the major millets, and the rest are minor millets, as you say, little millet, proso millet, or foxtail millet, kodo millet, barnyard millet, and brown top millet. See, this millets has many characteristics. If you say in the introduction, they have given that no, millets can sustain in a very harsh environment. It can tolerate drought, and we can say as the climate change is happening day by day, we can say it is the future crop because it will require very less water and also very less input to grow, as the requirement of rain is around 350 to 400 mm rainfall is sufficient. But when you take in case of rice and wheat, if it requires about 1200 mm of rainfall. So these are the millet grains that are grown in India. But if you see in Africa, there are other millets like teff and fonio. And now it has been introduced in India also in some parts of the states in India. And millets is, as it is very ancient grain, it has been known in different names. If you say some ragi, it is called nachni, then foxtail millet, some called kangu, kodua, means kodo millet. There are different names. So like little millet is called as kutki. In different parts of the country, it is called in different names. If you can get in the Google also, you can get the all the names of the millets in different, how it is called in different states. Other part, if you see the 9 types of millets, as I said, it is based on the, another it is categorized as the major, minor, and another part is, it is naked grains. If you see pearl millet, sorghum and finger millet, these are naked grains because they do not need processing as is needed by the bunned millet or foxtail millet, kodo millet, because in these other millets like little proso, they has a husk on it and we have to remove by the processing and before consumption, before human consumption. But if you see in pearl millet, sorghum and finger millet, these are the 3 millets which is more acceptable because it requires less processing, and also it can be grounded into flour and it can be taken as if you see in the most of the tribal parts all over India, if you see, these are the main grain which require less processing, and it is accepted by the farmers also. Now it is the nutritional value. We will come to the nutritional value of millets. As you can see, as I say, that is rich in nutrients. So it is the grain that can address the malnutrition in the context, in this today's context in India and also in abroad. If you see the carbohydrate or the protein part, every millet has a unique in the compositions. And also if you see the fat contents, it contains the natural fat, which is good for the health. And also if you see the calcium content of finger millet is around 364 mg per 100 gram of grains. And also magnesium, if you see the zinc content, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, folic acids. If you see the kodo millet has more folic acid. And also if you see the iron content, if you see the pearl millet has more iron as compared to other grains. So if you see all the terms, it is more superior than wheat and rice. Next, we'll be looking after the health benefits of millets. As you know, the millets are totally gluten-free, and it has been recommended for the celiac patients who are very allergic to gluten food like wheat or rice. They are more accepting, the millets are accepted by the celiac patients. And if you see the diabetes in India and also in the abroad, if you see, it is increasing in very alarming rate. And as you know, millets can control blood sugar, and it has recently, a review has been done and a meta-analysis of millets has been done, and it has been seen that the millets can control diabetes. And it is not only who are suffering from diabetes, but it also helps people before or the pre-diabetic people also. And the third one is the weight loss. If you see the millet content, like in foxtail millet, it contains a tryptophan, which helps in weight loss. And also if you see sorghum, it contains polyphenols, which is also helping in weight loss in the body. As I said, that it contains some natural fats, so it also prevents to deposit the other fats in the body, and we can say that millets are good for heart also. And if you see the content of the fiber, I think the millets contains high fiber as compared to other grains, and this helps also in better digestion. As you know, the fiber is very important for digestion. It has been also found, and it has been reported, that millets it can fight with cancer cells and also the cancer disease. And if you can say that millets can also keep you young, as it has content some antioxidants which prevents from it has the anti-aging property, and it keeps keep you young. And also it has a benefit. It's been said that it can also help in better sleep also. So these are the health benefits of millets. And now we'll be next moving. What is the consumption trend of millets? As you know, during 1960 onwards to till now, if you say in 1980 or 1990, the cultivation of millets has been deteriorating year by year. So the area has been reducing. But if you see the production of millets, it is the world, the first, means it is the largest producer of millets around the world, and it has a market share of around 41%. There are a lot of awareness. If you see in terms and in the national level or in the international level, there are a lot of awareness regarding nutri-cereals. Hope in the coming days, this awareness will help people to consume more millets and be healthy. And another thing to add to that, it was also termed as poor man's food, but due to the lifestyle disease, as we say, like obesity or diabetes, this has turned to a rich man's food. And really it has reached people. And also it is not only that urban people are consuming, it has now, the awareness has created in the urban areas. Now millets has been part and parcel of urban people also. As you know, millets have also been used as a fodder crop. And as you say, there are fodder like sorghum, which has multiple cuts. You can cut 2 to 3 times and use in the fodder for cattle. There are also, as you say, when the millets are developed into a value-added products, the consumers, they really accept it when they have the proper taste, and also when they have very ready-to-eat products or ready-to-cook products. So it has been increasing day by day in India and also in abroad. If you see the public distribution system in India, there are many states who have come forward and they have been including the millets in the PDS supply. As before it was only rice and wheat, but now most of the states like Odisha around this year, it has been, they have procured around 2 lakh quintals in the procurement systems, and also they are planning to supply in the PDS, and this will definitely help the people in the rural areas to help there in the and to address the malnutrition. There are also planned the introduction of millets in the midday meals in India. It has been also studied that consumption of millets and in the schools, it has benefited the children in their growth and also in their development. Now we will be starting one by one. What are the business plan the entrepreneur can focus on and can try it out and can enter into this industry. As I said that millets, as you see the 3 millets, there is ragi, sorghum and pearl millet, they do not need any processing, but in other grains, they need processing. And in the traditional, when we see in the village level, there is lot of drudgery in processing the millets. When we were doing some projects in the village areas, we have found that the farmers or the women who process millets, it takes around 1 hour to process 1 kg of millets. So it takes a lot of time, and also the quality is also low as compared to the machines processed millets. Now the technology has been developed for processing millets, and there are many manufacturers who have come forward and they have developed some technologies, and this has given the entrepreneurs or for the startups in India to do the processing of millets, so that they can process a large quantity and also maintain a good quality, and in a short period of time they can solve the demand of the market. So in order to establish a millet processing unit, primary processing unit, you need some machines like grader cum aspirator, de-stoner cum aspirator, de-huller cum aspirators. That is single and double. There are 2 types of de-huller, and a pulverizer. These are the generally need of the machines for primary processing. When the grains are procured from the farmers, they are put into the grader, and after in the grader, mostly the stones, the pebbles or the grass, sands are being separated by these machines. And after grading, then it comes to the other machine, that is de-stoner. De-stoner basically works on the principle of gravitational principles, and in this case, and also a inflow of air is given so that the heavier particles move backward and the grains move forward. In this way, it has been separated. The millets are separated from the stones. Another thing to add to that is that whenever the de-stoner or aspirator is installed, we need to install a frequency variable frequency drive which resists the mechanical stress, and the machines also last for longer if we install that frequency variable frequency drive. In case of de-huller and aspirator, there are 2. There are single chamber, another also double. In double, we see in Kodo millet, we require a double chamber, and this works, and the de-huller mostly works under centrifugal force, and the grains are separated from the husk. And the pulverizer is generally used for grounding the grains or the after de-hulling. If you can see, these are the manufacturers in India who are into these millet processing machines. If any entrepreneurs are interested, they can contact this manufacturer and get the machines from them. And these are Perfura Technology and AVM Engineering Industries, Victor Agrosales, Agromech Engineers, KMS, Born Technology. Born Technology has now they have developed integrated machines where all the machines are fitted together, and it's require less number of people to operate it. And if you see in the Hun Foundation, they have developed 2 machines, and they are the first one to develop a machine de-huller, that is around this tabletop de-huller, which we can put on the table and de-hull the millets grain. They have, and the machine cost around 75,000. Next, we'll be coming to millets value addition. As you know, millets value addition is the process of taking a raw commodity and developing into a product. If you see in India, there are many entrepreneurs, or there are many companies who have started this millet processing, and they have done a very good products, and they have developed very good products like if you see Mana Millets, and recently the Soulful in the brand Soulful, and now they have been taken by Tata and acquired by Tata. It's Tata Consumer Soulful Private Limited. Then 24 Mantra, they are into these millets around 30, started their around 30 years back, and they are good in processing millets, and their products are also good, and it's totally organic. And these products been reaching in the international market, in US, in Dubai. These have gone to that level. These products have gone to that level. So to understand why millets value addition is required, see, mostly we have to meet the consumer taste and also the preference, and we have to study that what is the requirement of a consumer and what are their demand. Accordingly, we can develop a product so that it is acceptable in the market. Also, millet value addition also reduces the post-harvest losses in the ground level, so that the loss is minimum. We can separate the damaged grain also, and if you see, it also helps in value. If you do the value addition, there is an increase in nutrients. If you see in case of soaking and also in fermenting or sprouting, this also enhances the nutrient content in the millets. And as we have seen in the market that there are many products like ready to eat, ready to cook product has come in millets also. And generally, these millets also reduces the cooking time, as most of the people who are doing their job or are busy in the morning hours, they can prefer these ready to cook foods, so that it takes less time to cook also. As you know, that millets has very low shelf life, and value addition helps to increase the shelf life, and this product can stay in the sale for a longer time and can reach in the market, and so that the consumer also take the benefit of it. As you know, that there are a lot of products in the market, but if you see in the millets, if you produce more millets products in the coming days, it can also solve the climate change issues in the country and also in the world. And the problem which India is facing nowadays, it is the malnutrition, and hope this value addition of millets can address that too. And farmers can go for post-harvest technology, and this will help and improve their income and status of the farmers. Third is the, if you see the millet pasta, there are a lot of products in the market, and generally these millet pasta are made following the cold extrusion process, and millet pasta and vermicelli are done in the same process. First, the grains have been milled, then it is sieved, and the water is added to that, then mixing of that, and then extrusion process goes on, and then we go for drying, then again cooling, and then packing. There are some suitable sorghum varieties which are fit for this millet pasta and vermicelli, are like CSV 15, CSV 20, SPV 1253, SPB 1383, and SPV 1808. These are the varieties with millet pasta and vermicelli are suitable for. Next is the Jawar puffs. If you see, all might have heard the popcorns, but puff is a new technology, and it is very good in taste and is accepted by the consumers. This technology is been done by using a millet puff gun machine, and the millets are put into the machine, and after proper heat and of temperature and pressure, they are turned into a puff. And this product, I think after coming out, then again it is roasted and it is packed into a packet and it is sent to market. Then is the millet flakes. If you can see, there are two types of sorghum. There are red sorghum, then white sorghum. The color differs, and these are also good for making breakfast or poha and other. We can also make millet flakes with proso millet, ragi, kodo millet, little millet, and foxtail millet also. In this process, we require a machine that is millet flaking machine. In this process, the millets are soaked, then it is roasted, then it is put into the machine for flaking, then it's dried and then cooling, and it is and then the last stage is the packing. Then coming to the technology of baking technology, if you see millet biscuits and cakes, no doubt it is coming to the market. You might have seen these products in the market, and these are the baking technology. We need a few machines. These, if you see, this is the millet cake, which I want to bring to you. Is that this is the you might have heard of House of Millets, and this chef Natasha Gandhi is the founder of that, and she develops a millet cake which most of the people prefer on the occasion, on birthday or party celebration. They use a gluten-free cake for their. So in this sector also, this millet can be introduced so that the people get good product, and in this also we can make some cakes, muffins also by this process. In the baking technology, we require around 3 machines for doing this. We need a planetary mixtures, then cooking cutting machine, and a rotary convection oven. In planetary mixture, mostly the mixture or the ingredients is mixed for a certain time, and in cooking cutting machine, according to the requirement or according to the shape, if you like a round shape, or if you like some rectangle shape or some square shape, you can give a comment to this machine, and accordingly the product can be made out of that. And in rotary convection oven, it is the after the coming out from the cooking cutting machine, it is put into the oven for a certain temperature and time, and this product are cooled and packed into and sent into the market. Another industry where millets are nowadays, it's coming. If you might in the hotel industry, if you see in Bangalore, if you see in Hyderabad, most of the people now are preferring millet-based diet. So this is the sector. You might heard of the Bharat Reddy, who was the founder of Millet Marbles in Hyderabad, and the product or the menu which are prepared in this restaurant are all made of millets, and people are coming to this restaurant for taking these millet recipes. Another thing I want to say that there is huge potential in the international market of Indian millets. As you know, India is the largest producer of millets, and if you see in the recent days, like it has been exported to Indonesia, Netherlands, Philippines. The millets are being exported to these countries. And the recent news in this time, if you might have that the millets from Uttarakhand has gone to Denmark also, and it has been supported. There are organizations who are coming forward to help you in this export business, like APEDA. You can take help of them, and you can export your product to these other countries also. And another is B2B business you can do in this sector also, as there are many supermarkets and also some retail industry. You can pack and you can send your product to this level also. As you know, millets are good for babies, and thus the millets are rich in nutrients, fiber, and other antioxidants. So it has been said that after the babies turn 6 years of age, they can be given millets. And in India, there are two companies like Slurm Farm and Early Foods. They have created a lot of baby products out of millets, and there are in good demand in the market also. Another sector which we can focus is the millet bird food industry. Basically, in America, if you see, millets were preferred as bird feeds, but now it has turned to more human feeds also now. But this bird feed is a sector which is in India, it has not much developed, but I think in the coming days, this millet can be used as a bird feed in an organized way. And it has been seen that some millets are also being used in the poultry feed also. And other business which we can focus on is the millet seed production. As you know, the sorghum and pearl millet and some of ragi, there are some good varieties, but if you see in other minor millets, there are very less varieties, which if any entrepreneurs can enter into this segment, that is millet seed production, they can do a very good business. Another sector is the millet aggregator, where an entrepreneur can procure the millets from the farmers and grade it and store it in a godowns, and in the time of need or in the demand, when there is demand in the market, they can supply and they can do a very good business. In the recent, I can say that there is due to pandemic situation, there is also we have marked the grow in the cutlery business. That is, if you might heard, the cutlery is made out of millets. That is BK Environmental Innovation. They are producing spoons and forks, chopsticks with millets, and the MD Narayan Pesapati has developed. He's the founder of this innovation, and it is sent in the market as Becky's. Becky's in the brand name. Another thing we can also say that we can put the product on the online platform, and we can target from B2C business in this category, where millets will be on the online platform. And there are many entrepreneurs or startup has initiated these startups. They are procuring from the FPOs, the farmer producer organization, and they are packing and they are selling it to the direct to the customers in this so that the e-platform is used in a better way. So these are the business plan where an entrepreneur can focus on and can start a business in the coming days. So before starting a project or this millet and entering into the business in millets, I must say that we need to do some research work and also some survey work in the market, and also identify where is the potential, and we can send the product. No doubt in India, most part of the southern part of India, there is so many companies or startup have come in millets sector. And it is always advisable to visit some successful entrepreneurs and see what are the difficulty they are facing in the initial days, and so that you might not face in the when you are starting your business. And if you see in the millet processing, there are a lot of challenges, maybe in terms of the processing of the millets grain, the efficiency of machines to be checked so before buying, so that you can feel the confidence and also build the good products out of the machines. And it is always better to have a training before starting this business. And also we have to understand the millet grains, no doubt, where you can get the raw materials and what are the products available in the market. Recently, you might heard of ICRISAT international institutions. They have brought an online platform like Millet Finder. In that, around more than 500 products have been enlisted, only the millet products around the world, and around 38 countries have participated in that platform. And just you can type smartfood.org/millet finder. In that, you can see the products, what are the products in the market, and what are the taste and what is the demand in the market. In that way, you can plan out your business. Finally, I will say that millets are the future crop, as it is good for you and also good for the farmers and also good for the planet. With this, I end here, and I thank you for your patience hearing. And to connect with me, you can email me, or if you have any queries also in the days to come, you can email me in this, and also go through some of my blogs on tcrconnectiveagriculture.com or milletadvisor.com. In this way, we can connect and hope that we can take these millets to a great level. And thank you for your patience hearing.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your valuable information. I hope all the participants have gained a lot of knowledge regarding millets and their business opportunities for entrepreneurs. Now we will proceed to the question answer session. The first question is, what kind of pollination occurs in millets?
See, pollination is as the grasses family, as Poaceae, it is self-pollination, and it does not take any problem in that. And so in that is self-pollination only.
Okay, sir. The next question is, will you advise the budding entrepreneurs to opt millet farming as an enterprise?
Sure, because I've been doing some millet farming. We have been advising farmers in the ground level also, and we can surely help for the entrepreneurs who are coming in farming also, because we are connected to the farmers, and we can see the potential where there is demand in the market, and we can start the farming also.
Okay, sir. If I want to opt post-harvesting of millet as an enterprise, how much investment will I need?
Basically, harvesting, now the varieties are coming to pictures, like because due to lodging problem, as we see in the rice harvesting or other harvesting, there is problem in that. But now the varieties are coming in the millet sector also, where we can use the machines for harvesting. And see, mostly after harvesting of the millet grain, it has been a process traditionally for getting the product. But there are some threshers, and you can say there are thresher developed by OUT, and the ragi, and it has been supplied to the SHG group so that they can use. And parlor, I think in the parlor, see, if you see in the par millet also and sorghum also, the machine has been developed so that we can extract the grains from the panicles.
Okay, sir. To which countries can I export the millets?
See, as I said, there are many countries like UAE, you say Austria, Netherlands. Recently, it has been exported to Denmark. To be part of the exporting industry, you must really connect to APIDA so that you can get better help from them. They can support you and there are a lot of schemes, maybe for developing infrastructure, or a entrepreneur who is facing a problem, or for quality test, or maybe what is the need of other country, and what are their standard, what are their grade of requirement. Accordingly, you can plan it out and send to the countries like that.
Okay, sir. Are there any quarantine pests reported in millets?
No such till now, but I think mostly the millets, if you see, India is the most in the exporting country, and no such pest has been found till now.
Okay, sir. What are the major diseases of millets?
If you see the disease, if you see in case of ragi, there are some neck blast or finger millet, in you say in the panicle blast. These are the blast is the major problem in millets, and also some blight problem also there. But millets are mostly their resistance to diseases also. What I have seen in the farmer field is that there is very less disease as compared to other crops.
Okay, sir. What challenges I will face if I opt millet farming as an enterprise?
Basically, the millets are grown, most of the countries are, by default they are organic, and so we need to see the soil, what is the fertility index of that soil, and if you are planning to apply any fertilizer also, it requires very less fertilizer. And thing is that the most of the people where I get query from all over India is that there is availability of seed is very less in the market also, as compared to, you see, only sorghum and pearl millet or somewhat ragi varieties are available in the market. And selecting a variety, if you say a biofortified variety, maybe some variety which is in millets, there are a range of varieties. And I will be saying that if you want, you can connect me and send a mail so that I can connect to Indian Institute of Millet Research or maybe some other institute, so that you can, the place where you are located, you can get the seed in the time, also in the time, or what is the requirement of your variety also, we can get that into touch also. Any more questions?
Pesticide residues are present in millets. Will it harm the bird that will feed on it?
See, it is same for every grain. If you say, it is not only the millets, but residue, if you see in the pesticide case, it will surely, if it is there, and if you see, we take vegetables, no doubt there are also some residue test. If you do the residue test, it is surely will hamper the birds. And if it is more, and if it is less, then less means, if you after analysis only we can say it is less or more. In that way, we can test and feed the birds.
Okay, sir. So what are the trade barriers for millets?
Trade barrier?
Yes, sir.
Trade barrier is that most of the people or the entrepreneurs who are coming, the quality is the main barrier, if you say, and the quality and quantity also, we have to keep in mind that we have to fulfill the demand of other party, who is the other end party, and what is his requirement. And due to the small size of millets, there are also problem, and And after processing, most of the millets have very low shelf life. If you say around, if in case of pearl millet, it's very less due to the presence of more fat in that. And other millets, like if you say after processing, if you can keep a millet without processing the grains as such, then we can keep for around 1 year. But the day you process the millet, you can keep for around 2 to 3 months. And now technology has been developed, taking into account the packing material and also the process you are involving, like thermal treatment in that way, or nitro packing. If you say this way, the shelf life can be increased. So these are the barriers. Mainly, I will say the shelf life of millet after processing is the main barrier in the trade factor.
Okay, sir. How government institutes are helping farmers in this regard?
Government institute, if you see in case of Odisha, there this mission, if you see Odisha Millet Mission, if you see in Karnataka, they have gone to organic millets, they have connected some buyer sellers, then they are incentivizing this millet farming, and they are giving incentive to the farmers, and these farmer and they are giving some assured market, and they are procuring the millets in the mandi system, and at the end they are taking that grain in the MSP rate as declared by the government. And there are institutions like Indian Institute of Millet Research. They are helping entrepreneurs, farmers in getting these technologies, and also they have been in Indian Institute of Millet Research. There is NutriHub, where they are giving the handholding support to the entrepreneurs for starting their business, and there are some funding from RKY Raftar. There is N-Grain. There are many in millets who are, and there is also ICRISAT who is doing very good in this millets, and there are also CFTRI, Measure, then IFPT, Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology. They are also doing good in this millet processing and these millet value additions.
Okay, sir. So we know that mountainous regions have produced many varieties of millets in ragi. What are your suggestions to farmers of this area?
There are good varieties like GP28, GP48. Now recent variety like ML365. This is resistant to neck blast. This farm, and they are good for fodder and also cattle. Like this millet from ML365 to the fodder. So this is the grain. Then KMR 304. Then GPU66. These are the promising variety where you can get yield around 12 to 15 quintals per acre.
Okay, sir. So can we grow millets in saline or acidic soils?
Where I work in Koraput is mostly acidic soil. So it's not, millets can be grown in acidic soil where it is around 4 to 5, also 5.5. It can we can grow in acidic soil, but in saline soil it is, I think, a little difficult, but it suits other soils.
Okay, sir. So are there any storage pests reported in millets?
There are pests, no doubt. If you see the pod, the small weevils, mostly the weevils attack. As you see in the rice also, the same case is found in millets also. If you see in the FCI godowns or the pests which are found, it is mostly also found in millets also. So weevil is the main pest in millets, I will say.
Okay, sir. So is it true that positive millets are grown organically?
Nowadays, I will say it is not only that positive or negative millet, I will not say that, but we cannot say that all are grown in organically. It is depend on the farmer who is following. Some are the farmers who are very positive and they are growing in a very organic way. By default, they are also organic. But now as the technology develops and some farmer also they are using fertilizer for millets, we cannot say that positive millets are totally organic.
Okay, sir. So what is the cost of flakes and puff machinery, and can you share the manufacturers of the machinery?
Recently, I will say there were a lot of query from other state also on this regard. But as I inquired, there are some party who are bringing from outside, and the puff gun which you are seeing, it is mostly exported, imported from China. So in this COVID situation, there were a lot of problem in that, and there are some company in Pune, and I can give, you can write me in my mail ID, I can share the details of that Pune company who are supplying. They are, but basically they are importing from other countries only.
Okay, sir. So what is the shelf life of millets?
As I said, it is very low, and it depends on what is the when you are storing a millet or processing a millet, we should take care of the moisture level. And if we keep only the grain part, we should keep around 11 to 12% moisture, then we can keep for around 1 year. But if you process it, it goes around, if you say in pearl millet, it is 10 to 15 days only, because it contains more fat, and the density develops very soon. But in other millets, like if you say foxtail millet, little millet, or kodo millet, other millets, when we process it, and we are keeping in a very good container or a pack, or some people also say no, that if we keep in a refrigerator, also the shelf life increases. So around 2 months if we the normal level, but the technology which has been developed by Indian Institute of Millet Research, it has been extended up to 6 months.
Okay, sir. I once again thank you, sir, for patiently answering all the questions asked by the participants. Now I hand it over to Surbhi to take on the session. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Over to you, Surbhi.
Thank you so much, Sarsha, and thank you so much, sir, for joining today's session and giving us a valuable, informative session for all of us. So thank you so much, sir. So now I would like to request our third orator, Professor Dr. Simerjit Kaur. She is the HOD of Life Science and Environmental Sciences at Rayat Bahra University, Mohali, and Director of Operations and Academics. She has 16 years of teaching experience and 15 years of research experience. Some of her awards include Women Researcher Award 2021, Best Researcher in Environmental Science 2021, Academic Excellence Award 2020, Academic Leader Award Female 2020, Inspirational Woman Award 2020 for Academic Leadership, Best Teacher Award 2013, and many more. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining today's session. So I'd like to invite you for the session. So over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So a very good evening to everyone. It's evening time now. And I know everybody has been attending these workshops or training sessions since morning. So I wouldn't be taking much long, I assure you. Ma'am has already introduced me so well to all of you. I'm Professor Dr. Simerjit Dean Students Welfare and heading Department of Life Sciences at Rayat and Bahra University. So I would say it's a privilege for me to share this platform with the professors, with the researchers, the scientists, and specifically, to connect with the youth of the nation. So I will be discussing about the role of the youth in the agriculture, the key challenges they have been facing, and some concrete solutions I will be discussing about. I know they are the ones, the youth are the ones, they are the building block of the nation, and they are the ones who can actually, reshape the future of the agriculture, specifically with reference to India. And I will be sharing few, the success stories of the agripreneurs also, who have been exceeding very well in the agriculture. So farming is not just a job. It is a way of life. It is a way of life. It is a way of living for many people. So farming looks, mighty easy when you use a pencil as a plow, right? But when you are actually into a field, it looks like a battlefield. And the young generation, the young ones, they are not very much nowadays into this farming system, though they have inherited from generations, but they don't like to be the part of this system. They are more inclined towards the white collar jobs. So the question arises how to engage youth into agriculture, right? So we know that it is fact. In fact, the stronger the youth, the more developed the nation is. The role of the youth in the nation building occupies the central place. And the countries which actually utilize their youth in the right direction, they are more developed. Because they are having that kind of, the energy is there, brightness of mind is there, they are having that potential, they are having that capability. They are actually, I would say, the torch bearer for our nation. And on the contrary, the countries which fail to realize the importance of the youth, they lag behind in every department of the life. So the main question arises the involvement of the youth in the agriculture. And specifically for the countries, if I'm talking about India, we know we are the agriculture dependent country. And 70% of India population that is below the age of the 35 years. So that makes us the most youngest nation in the world. And this predominance of, the youngest nation, it is expected to last until 2050, which can be utilized for taking Indian agriculture to the new heights. Definitely for that, we have to adopt some appropriate skills, knowledge, and that kind of attitude, specifically the attitude of the young minds towards the agriculture, that we need to change. We need to change their mindset. And the youth involvement in the agriculture, that is significant because they are the excellent source of the idea and the innovations. The youth are mostly educated. They are having, specific skills. They are equipped with specific skills. They are having knowledge. And mostly, the students from the agriculture sciences, they are even having those scientific skills. So they are having the required energy. The question is to channelize that energy into the right direction and to change their mindset and to, involve them or to engage them into the agriculture. We have to set some kind of examples. We need to motivate them. We need to encourage them. And in the rural countries, when we see in the rural areas, mostly the basic necessities of the rural families, they have to be met from the land or the land activities. And even for the, meet the nutritional demands of the family. Here, I'm not talking only about the food crops, but the fruits and the vegetables, they also have to be produced. So nutritional requirements in the rural area, that is being met by the, land or the land activities only. And in agriculture, we know different stages are there. We all are aware. Mostly the people from the agriculture, they are connected today. So production is there, consumption is there, then there is a stage of processing, storage, marketing, and each and every stage we require, manpower, right? So this is also one of the best way to engage our youth into the employment. So it enhances the chances of the employability by involving or engaging the youth at the different stages of the agriculture processes, right? And especially the youth, they are very much involved into the marketing activities where the trade and the enterprise that is highly commercialized. And trust me, the graduates from the agriculture, they are not adopting agriculture as their main job profile. They are more into the marketing or into the interdisciplinary or interrelated area. In fact, they change their career options after getting degree into this, BSc agriculture sciences, or into any post-graduation degree into horticulture. So they are not, joining into the core services of the agriculture. So there are key challenges, undoubtedly, and we need to find the solution. And many studies and investigations already done, and we already have been going on to determine the various factors why the youth participation in the agriculture-based livelihood activities that is, lacking behind, why they are not, pulling themselves into this agriculture field. So, on the other hand, what we say when we talk about the, especially for the developing nation, I would say India is also a developing nation, and we are the second largest populated country in the world. So always we keep on, talking about the poverty is there, then hunger is there, unemployment is there. Our educated, the students, they always, look for that kind of, the job opportunities, which they feel like it is not there, right? So agriculture that is perceived as significant alternative solution to the youth unemployment and ability to overcome the economic stress or the economic issues. So if they adopt this agriculture as one option, we can say it can sort out the employment issue of the youth also. And also the financial crisis could be sorted out. But it seems that youth have negative attitudes toward the agriculture when we interact with them. Though they have inherited, they are having piece of lands, their parents and our grandparents, they are into agriculture, but they are not inclined toward the agriculture. They are not interested to join the agriculture because they don't view the agriculture field as an attractive area to work. They are just looking for those white collar jobs. So that's why we say agro brain drain is there. They are educated in the agriculture field, but at the same time, after getting that required qualification, they are not, interested in joining agriculture as a main career option. Though we know that risks are also involved. So today's generation, they are not, willingly involved into the agriculture operations. And we will be discussing about the various key challenges, in fact. So despite of the fast growing opportunities in the agriculture-based livelihood activities, it is alarming to see many rural youth. Earlier they were into this agriculture field, but now they are opting out of the farming in the search of those known existing, white collar jobs in the cities. And there is a migration of the people from the rural to the urban area. They are moving towards the urban area for the sake of those white collar jobs. Though they themselves could be agripreneurs and they can create hundreds of thousands of, the job options for others also. But this migration is related with certain various factors, with certain challenges that they are not able to, overcome at the rural level. So youth are, I say, a vital segment of the human resource that can shoulder the responsibility of the development, including agriculture. We always keep on saying they are the nation builder, they are the nation builders, they are having this capability, they are having the energy, they are having the ideas, innovations, and most importantly, they are more receptive to the innovations. And they are also ready to bear the risk, they are ready to take the risk. and they are willingly participate in the community action. But at the same time, they are not able to cope up with the pressure that is being generated in the farming system. So that's why, in spite of excellent and tremendous development in the field of the agriculture, science and technology, only a few have been adopted. Technology is there, but mostly the people, they are still into that traditional way of, they are using those traditional cultivation techniques. They are not into this, the modern agriculture techniques. They are not more into drip irrigation method or sprinkler method. So they are more into the use of the synthetic fertilizers and the pesticides, synthetic pesticides. They are just ignoring the, this concept of organic farming, though many are there. They are the agripreneurs. They are into that business. In general, in totality, if we say, still they are more into this, traditional kind of agriculture. So in the coming year, if I say, one of the biggest challenge for the Indian agriculture would be retaining its youth in the agriculture. Our youth, I use that one word, agro-brain drain, So our youth, they are moving to the abroad, they are moving to Canada, to some other country, and they are doing this kind of jobs they are doing over there, like they are into the farming system over there. But they are very happy. They are very much satisfied. Reason, because the kind of techniques, the technology, and the innovations that is there, that has made actually agriculture much more easier for the youth ones, for the young generation. And when it comes to the, the developing nations, definitely we are lacking behind. So that's why they are learning over here. They are learning the techniques. They are aware of each and everything. But yes, they are moving abroad and they are into the same kind of the profession. So their agriculture is a profession for them. That is a job for them. But in India, they are taking agriculture as a farming. So they are not getting out of that mindset. They are not getting themselves into the agripreneurship. So until unless the farming becomes both intellectually stimulating and economically rewarding, it will be difficult to attract or retain the rural youth in farming. This is a fact. This is specifically with reference to the India. So reviewing India's agriculture is the country's most important agenda. But who will carry forward this primary livelihood activity? Who? We are agriculture dominating nation. Our agriculture production, that I would say, that is our main component. That is the main component of our nation. So there might not be a next generation of the farmers left in the country. So we need to actually think about it. And the union government and the central governments, they need to intervene at this, point. When they say, when they see how the young ones or the youth of the nation, they are not, opting agriculture as an option. They are just opting out. And every day, 2,000 farmers, they give up farming. So, of course, there are reasons for this. Like they say this is our mother, but they are living it. This is the source of their livelihood. So they're looking for other alternate options. Maybe they are not getting that kind of, financial crises are there. They are into the agriculture. They are having some other burdens. Loans are there. Subsidies are being provided by the government, but not up to that level. And sometimes, it is not reachable to the poor people or to the poor farmers. So the young among the farming communities are hardly interested in the agriculture. Even majority of the students, I already said, who graduate from the agricultural universities, they switch over to the other professions. So this is what we call it is as a great Indian agro brain drain. And we need to stop this agro brain drain. Otherwise, as I said, there might not be a next generation of the farmer left in our country. So these are the various key challenges that the farmers, they have been facing in the agriculture. Access to information and the education, specifically with reference to the rural area, because mostly the people living in the rural area, they are more into this, agribusiness or into the agriculture or into the farming. So in the developing countries, the access to the information and the education, that is often worse in the rural area than in the urban area. And this discrepancy that is observable as early as the primary school. You can see even in the rural areas, specifically I'm talking about the developing nations with reference to India. The children, they are hungry, they don't have the energy to attend the school, they don't want to even interested in attending the school, and that's why they don't easily absorb the information provided to them. And during the seasonal peaks in the agriculture cycle, even we have noticed it a number of times, there is a shortage of the labor, and the parents, they may see no longer any other option, and they just involve their children to contribute to the household and to the other agriculture activities instead of attending schools. They literally ask their the children to miss out the school and to join them for those agriculture activities. And most also, if we talk about the physical infrastructure of the rural schools, that is actually really very bad, and classroom materials are sometimes lacking. And in most of the cases, the schools, they can be far away. I'm not talking about specifically, for the remote areas, they are far away from the rural communities, and that actually make that access very difficult for the rural children. So access to information and education, that is very much required if we actually want to involve our youth into the agriculture system. So basic education, of the primary education or the basic information, that is missing. Though in the in the urban area, they have started with that school gardening. So the students, or I can say the small children, they are learning about the irrigation technique or the cropping pattern or the cropping system. So that kind of education and the awareness could change the mindset of the youth when they reach at that, adulthood. So it has to be inculcated, at the young minds, at very young minds, at the childhood stage. So yes, but that facility, again, that is available only in the urban areas, but not in the rural area. Then vocational training and extension services. Again, this is restricted mostly to the urban area. So vocational training and extension services, they are very much effective tools for teaching agriculture skills and in fact, providing capacity building training for the rural youth. It is not only about, sometimes they're equipped with, those kind of the technical skills, but they are not having those leadership skills or the capacity building skill and team building skill. So that's why they do not always transmit the necessary skill. So can result in the poor employment outcomes. So they are educated, they are having degrees, they are having skills, but yes, they lack the capacity building training. So when it comes to the vocational training of the youth, it becomes mandatory, right? And the training programs, they lack funding. And capacities of the service providers are rather weak. The low education level among the rural youth further also limit their, training possibilities. So what I'm trying to say, there is often a mismatch between the kind of training we are providing to our youth and the requirement of the labor market. So we need to bridge that gap. We need to provide the kind of training. Now, this is a kind of training, like this is a 15-day training organized by Just Agriculture. This is marvelous effort, excellent effort. So every day the different sessions are there. The youth are connected through this virtual platform. They can get a large number of ideas, and they can implement or execute the same. They can learn the different practices they might not be aware of, they might not have heard about at the graduation or the post-graduation level, or even the uneducated youth, if they are, or the youth who don't have accessibility to such kind of trainings, like they are willing to join, but they are not able to join. So they can be a part of this kind of training because it's going free on the YouTube, it is going live. So these kind of, by using such kind of techniques or sharing or dissemination of knowledge through such kind of virtual platforms, by using such kind of techniques, we can bridge that gap that is between the training, the kind of training that we are offering, and the requirement of the labor market. Then higher education. Yes, this is also one of the important factors because this is equally essential for the development of the agriculture sector. and the creation of the high quality university. We know even Rayat and Bahra University has signed this memorandum of understanding with just agriculture, and that is entirely for this training based program. So the students, they learn practically in the labs, but that is something entirely different when they're out there in the field and they are actually having exposure to such kind of activities. So to increase the research and the development, so such kind of collaboration between the academia and the industry, that is very much required. And this is where the higher education comes. So it is equally important to connect educational institutions with the labor market opportunity and to build strong partnership with the employers to ensure that the skills of the agriculture professionals, they are actually matching up with the needs of the young graduates. And only then in this way we can increase the chances of the employability. ICT in the agriculture. This is not a new thing. It is always there. And modern ICT, such as mobile phones or the internet, they are very much appealing to rural youth. And they have high potential for facilitating access to information to enhance the productivity on the farm. And it also leads to the agriculture innovation. And even there are certain apps through which they can have access to the financial services and the market, right? So while mobile technology is generally widely diffused in the rural area, the internet is not. Then high prices of the computers and the internet, then combined with the lack of the electricity. This I'm talking about in the rural area. So for the prices of the computers, laptop, then internet, then there is a lack of the electricity. These all are the factors which are actually limiting the access to the internet in the developing countries, specifically in the rural area. And when it comes to the women, we know women, the role of the women, we can't forget in the agriculture. So the rural women, they have less access to ICTs because illiteracy level is very high, or we can say the lack of the financial resources to secure the use of the ICT. So we are having technology in India, we are having innovations, we have techniques, but to execute those techniques and that technology into the field, that is the most important part. And this is where I feel our youth, they are more connected with the technology. They are more connected with this recent development in the area of the agriculture. The different kind of the instruments and equipments are there. So there our youth can play very, pivotal role, I would say, in this agriculture. Now, I would like to discuss few of the solutions. Problems are endless, I would say. So like the opportunities are endless, we just need to change our mindset, right? So let's discuss about the concrete solution. What were discussed earlier during the problems, if we just reverse those things, and I would say the concrete solutions we can get to stop this agro brain drain. This is very much required, because 80 to 90% of the students studying in agriculture, they belong to the farming community. So they are already aware of the, few of the techniques. They are having that foundation is already there. But most of them, they prefer to choose a different career. If I say at present, around 0.4 million students are enrolled in agricultural universities and the institutes. But sadly, only 0.1 million students manage to graduate. And most of them, between 70 to 80%, they join the banking sector. Now you see, they are opting for the interrelated areas or entirely different field. Why? Because they are not liking to get themselves involved into that dirt. They are looking for the white collar jobs. So we need to stop this agro brain drain. They are having, the education, they are having the required skills. They can do miracles in the agriculture, but they are looking for the other options. So here again, I would say we need to change their mindset. We need to give them certain, we need to set some kind of examples in front of them. I would be sharing the success stories of few of the agripreneurs. So there are many ways to enhance the job opportunities for the students of the agriculture. But again, the funding is our biggest problem. And the government needs to come up with the schemes, especially I say the startup schemes, to encourage the youth into the agriculture, right? So that students, they can be given a lessons to market and to supply the fertilizers and the pesticide, and farmers, they can get the correct advice regarding the amount to be used for the specific type of the crop. And it is very sad that management students, this is happening in reality. So not the students of the agriculture, they are being recruited by the institutions like NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and the Rural Development. They are giving preferences to the students, management students, rather than the students of the agriculture, though this is a National Bank for the Agriculture and the Rural Development. So such kind of, the things we need to change. We need to change, bring a change in our system. Our youth are opting for the degrees or the diplomas in the agriculture. But once they are into this, in this journey of agriculture, they come across a number of the challenges. And they feel like there is no use of pursuing, the higher education unless they get into some kind of the research institutes or into some government sector. So that's why they always look for the other career options after getting degrees into the agriculture. So the government must also enhance the professional status so that more youth take up jobs in this sector. I earlier mentioned the example, our youth are more comfortable working in the farming system in the foreign countries, but not in the India. So yes, in India, we also need to enhance the professional status. When they are into the farming, they feel like we are farmers. We are into farming only. We are not into agribusiness. In the other countries, they are doing the same thing, but they feel like they are doing job. So in India, it's not a job. In India, it's a farming. And India, they are farmers, right? So that kind of, the distinction or that kind of tag, we need to remove. Then hand holding is required to strengthen farm livelihood. We know the youth, they are not attracted to this profession. So there is a reason, because there is neither guarantee of any income, nor there are enough institutions that could, provide them jobs. So that is the one of the, I would say, the two of the main reasons. So job security is not there. Then there is no permanent, you can't say like the farmer will be getting this kind of, minimum, when we talk about the MSP, the minimum support price guarantee from the government. That is not there. That is there, but only for a few crops. So only few crops, they get a minimum support price guarantee from the government. And this has created this vicious cycle. And we are having a live example right now, almost for the last 1 year. The farmers, they are sitting over there, they're fighting for their rights. They are asking government, they are requesting actually government to fix the MSP, the minimum support price, for rest of the crops as well. So this is one of the reasons the farmers, they are more into this, monocropping system. They keep on growing the same crop every year because they feel like this is a fixed income and MSP is there. And for the other crops, they feel like, okay, why to grow these kind of crops when there is no guarantee of the income? So it is a time to break this cycle and to think beyond this stunted vision. Government must assure MSP for other crops as well. And this will actually encourage the youth to take up farming without bothering about the market risk. Risks are always there in any kind of field, whatever kind of job we choose or we are doing. So risks are always there. But this agriculture is a kind of field which is more, is risk oriented, especially in the developing nation, and with this, the changing climatic conditions and the changing rainfall pattern. We know the everyday in many states, the flood-like situations are there. Some states, they are facing drought-like situations. So we have to move away from this monocropping system and invest in the diversity of the crops. Those crops are indigenous to various regions of the country. So it is a pity that we have to import wheat. Imagine, we have to import wheat, even though we have the capacity to meet the growing demand. So such kind of monocropping system, and we need to move away and we have to adopt that, flexible technology. We need to go for the strip cropping or mixed cropping or for the crop rotation. And that is possible only if MSP is fixed for each crop. Only then the farmers, they will feel like there is no risk of income. And this is a kind of, I would say, an assurance for them. And then they would be adopting the different techniques as well. So youth should also be taught about the profitable farming techniques. They know, but again, the limitations are there. They can't afford it. The equipments, the techniques that nowadays we have been using in the modern agriculture, that is not affordable by the poor farmers, especially for the farmers who are having only 2 or 3 acres of land. So there is the issue. So the youth, they should not only be taught about the integrated farming, but also about the latest techniques in the other area, like they can opt for the mushroom cultivation. It is not only about, to grow crops in the field. It is about, like, they can have those hydroponic agriculture, they can go for freshwater aquaculture, they can go for mushroom farming, even dairy farming is there. So number of options are there, but we need to make our youth aware of these, the techniques, the latest techniques that are in the market, and that could be quite profitable for them. So rather, if they don't want themselves to get involved into the farming system, they can be entrepreneurs. They could be agripreneur. Okay. And they should also be, of course, given some subsidy or, the loans to start some processing unit. And this is all in the hands of the government. So as I said, this is a vicious cycle, So if government supports, I'm sharing one example in Punjab. The processing unit of the kinnu produce, they are located in the distant area. So suppose there is a farmer who's having this, the 10 or 20 acre of land is having this kinnu produce. But for the processing unit, he has to transport all that, kinnu produce to some other area. So with the support of the government, if government gives subsidy or loans to start this food processing unit over there in the field to the farmers. So by helping the youth to establish these food processing units, there could be decreased transportation cost, as well as it will enhance the employability also. So again, the things are, it's not out of hand or not next to impossible. These all are the possible things. These are all are the possible solutions which could be offered to the farmers. For the farmers with the on the higher side, they are having a land 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 acre. There is not an issue. But yes, for the poor farmers with small pieces of lands, it becomes very difficult for them. And it's literally in developing nation, it is a hand to mouth situation is there. So yes, we need to, we keep on talking about the innovation in the agriculture. I talk about the ICT in the agriculture, but ground reality, there are the farmers, the poor farmers, they are the ones who are looking for such kind of the subsidies or the loans so that we can uplift their standard of living. Now teach them to become farm entrepreneurs. We need to change their mindset. We need to change their psychology. If they don't want to take farming as an option, then yes, they can be entrepreneurs, right? And if I talk about the India's agriculture sector, I say it resembles a patient battling for life in the intensive care unit. This is a fact. So the recent demonetization was there. It has shown that the union government did not anticipate actually how it would affect the livelihood of the farmers. They didn't anticipate in this way. And across the nation, farmers have incurred heavy losses and they had to sell their produce at a throwaway prices. Still farmers they are doing because MSP is not there. So that's why they are sitting over there for the last, number of months. It's been almost 1 year. So anyhow, at the state level or at the center level, some decisions need to be taken in the favor of the farmers if we actually want a farming system to continue at some another level, if we want our youth to be the part of this, the agriculture system. right? So we need to change the mentality and the mindset of each and everyone from lower level to higher level, including government also. Now, the next is wanted, an Indian agriculture service. Yes, there are many seed varieties are there that have a potential to secure the huge profits. But again, these all things are in the hands of the private sector. And government has not made any effort to produce these high yielding variety and make them available to the poor farmer. So again, the question comes to the poor farmer or the people living in the rural area. So we are having pest resistant variety, disease resistant variety, the varieties with high yield production or with high nutritional content. But the poor farmers, they don't have accessibility to these kind of the varieties. And in a country like India, I already said, where we are having different, rainfall pattern. We are having a flood-like situation in some area, and the other states are having drought-like situation. Slime soils are there. So these high-yielding variety or disease-resistant variety or genetically modified, the seeds, these the government need to popularize them. The accessibility of the the farmers, poor farmers, must be there, right? Only then we would be able to involve or to engage our Indian youth into this farming as a profession. This would give them actually confidence. Like we are not at that high risk, so we are having other options, and they would be quite sure, and they will gain that kind of confidence, and they will take up farming as a profession. So they are ready to take farming as a profession, but the high risk are involved, and that's why they are just stepping back. They are moving, away from this agriculture profession. So government should come up with initiatives to encourage the organic farming. As we know, clean crops, they are gaining ground worldwide, and they are highly profitable. They are also ecologically sustainable. So yes, startups schemes we have already discussed about. So this is ultimately in the hands of the government, what I would like to say. Yes, our young minds are there. Youth is very much interested, I would say, but the limitations are there. The different factors, different studies have been done by many researchers and the scientists. They are having that inherited piece of land, and they are the owner of their own area. But rather than generating employability for the others, they are actually looking at the government or the other stakeholders for the same. And then we need to focus on the quality or the value instead of the quantity. We want food to be as cheap as possible, right? This is fact. But why should those same subsidy benefits apply to growers of flowers or cash crops who also happen to be relatively richer, right? So perhaps policies need to differentiate between the food staples and the cash crops. Then go organic. See, there are farmers who are actually fighting for access to 2 times meal in a day. It is very hard for them to feed their families. And we keep reciting to go organic because we feel like organic is important for India for the several reasons. First, we spend lots of taxpayers' money on the inputs, especially on the fertilizers. So why to spend so much on the fertilizers when we can prepare our own organic manures, or we are having those animal husbandries and we can use the animal waste as a fertilizer. Second, organic production that relies more on labor as a substitute for other inputs. So that actually will give employability to the youth. And third, we know due to the excessive use of the synthetic pesticides and the fertilizers, just to boost up agriculture productivity, we know the negative adverse, I can say the negative health impact are there on the public health. And the farmers who have overused these conventional pesticides, they have high cancer risk. And unabated use of antibiotics in the livestock rearing that is, major cause for the drug-resistant infections. So while this is a global challenge, but India ranks worst in the world in terms of antibiotics in the chicken. So this is one of the unintended consequences of the cheap drugs combined with the tax oversight. So that's why we feel like we need to go organic, and we can save money when we talk about to remove the power, the hunger, and to adopt the sustainable way of living. And we keep on talking about the, the ecological balance. There, yes, definitely, and health is a priority for us. Then definitely there is a need to go organic, and organic foods, they are more profitable, undoubtedly. But yes, again, the accessibility to the poor farmers, that again we need to consider. Then appropriate education and training, we have already discussed this point earlier. So knowledge of agriculture production, processing techniques, and relative know-how, young farmers, they need to access to information about the finance, land, and markets. It's not only about to know about the farming. They need to know about the finance. They need to know about the market also. And this applies to developed as well as developing countries alike. However, the situation particularly dire in many developing countries, if I say even in India also, where access to appropriate education and training often remains quite limited in the rural area. In the urban area, it is there. But yes, training institutes, if I say, they are mostly located in the rural area. But that kind of training is not accessible to each and everyone. That is for the the students who graduate, or the postgraduate students, or the already for the students who are equipped with a certain kind of the additional set of the skills, but not to the farmers who are actually, I would say, the uneducated and they are working in the field. So this facility is not available to them. So in few villages it has been started, and some other groups are there, health groups are there. Then education in the rural area, that is very much mandatory. So practical activities like associated with the integration of the agriculture in the school curriculum, that is there. Many schools, they have now agriculture as a mandatory subject. And school gardens, I have already discussed with you, where the children, they are getting knowledge about this cropping system, and showcasing the career path of the successful young farmers. We need to motivate them by sharing the stories of the young farmers or the agripreneurs as an example, as a model. So we need to set those kind of example to change their mindset. Financial assistance, this is one of the the biggest issue in the developing nation. So just like access to land, access to the financial services such as savings and the loans, that is of fundamental importance to start any agriculture activity. Suppose if you want to start any kind of business, right, then definitely you need the support and the finance, and loan facility is there. Subsidies are there, but subsidies are not that much sufficient to start any kind of the agri business. So some people they invest their whole life earnings to set up any kind of agri business, and they are quite successful. But yes, even if the youth, they do have access to land, they still need finance. They're having lands, the youth, they're having 5-acre land, 10-acre land, but they still need finance to cover the cost of the planting and the harvesting, as well as I would say the investment in the improved productive capacities. So payment and trading services such as mobile banking is there, internet trading, they are important tools for selling their produce. So many, the youth and the farmers, they are using it, but they are in the rural area, they are the farmers who are technologically challenged, right? So their future generation, like their children, they are having all those kind of, the techniques or the innovations. They are able to use that mobile banking and internet trading, and they can avail this kind of facility. So given that the agriculture sector, that is often exposed to adverse natural events, I said, then beside this, there is no fixed income is there in case of agriculture. So there are always risks. Floods could be there, droughts could be there, or any other, the natural disaster could be there. So access to insurance scheme, that is very much crucial for the young farmers. If they will be having accessibility to these insurance scheme that could be started by the the union government, if those kind of schemes are there, that would actually boost up the confidence of the youth, and they would like to be the part of this, the farming profession. So financial assistance, that is very much required. Then self-help groups are there. Collective action, that is somehow lacking among the rural youth. They are rarely organized in self-help groups that could provide the means for generating savings and improving the borrowing power of both the individual members and the groups. So that is there. So collaborative efforts, I would say, or the collective action, that is very much required. Even in the many developing countries, the young rural women, they face additional, constraints in assessing the financial services due to their higher rate of the illiteracy, or you can say the restricted liberty of the action. Then there could be lack of consent of the family members. So much of which can be traced to, we can say, the gender discrimination that is embedded in the societal norms. So women in agriculture, yes, definitely they face more constraints. But here we are not talking about the gender inequality. Here we are discussing about the role of the youth, whether boys or girls or the young ones. We are talking about the youth of our nation who are actually have been facing problems or the issue. We are providing the solution, but you have seen this is a vicious cycle. Ultimately, it is coming back to the government. It is coming back to the started scheme. It is coming back to the incentives, the loans, the insurance. So basically, youth of the nation is looking for the security, right? Is looking for the fixed source of the income. Like it is like they are looking for 9 to 5 hours job, 8 to 8 hours job. Like they're having a fixed income. They know at the end of this month, they will be getting this salary, like whether productivity is there or not. So that kind of sense and the security our youth is looking for. And that only we can introduce with the changing of some kind of, the government policies. Coordinated approach or the response to increase the youth access to the agriculture sector, that is again very much important. As a rising global population or decreasing agriculture productivity, gains imply that young people must play an important role in ensuring a food secure future for themselves and also for the future generation. So we can see we are expecting a lot from our youth, and we must expect. But yes, for the youth to be the part of this agri system or the agri business, we need to provide them the facilities as well. It is not only about to get into the field, and farming is not only about plowing, harvesting, or it is also something at some another level. If you are agripreneur, if you are into agri business, that is something entirely different. You are an employer that enhances the chances of the employability of the others as well. So you are a boss of your own field, right? But again, for the startups, government need to provide the incentives or the loans to the youth as well, not to their parents, to the youth, because youth are the ones. We always keep on talking about the role of the youth, but the youth are being the most ignored section, I would say, when it comes to the agriculture. They are trying at their level best. They are learning techniques, they are learning technology, they are having ideas, they are having innovation. But for the investment, they need money. And this is where the role of the government begins. So if I conclude my session, I would say the youth are not significantly engaged in the agriculture-based livelihood activities. And so far, you are aware why they are not engaged into this agriculture-based livelihood activities, though we say this is a source of livelihood for us. We can't survive without food, more than 5 to 6 weeks. So we need food. We all need food, right? So it is suggested that a number of incentives are needed to convince the youth that agriculture can provide a good career. They don't take agriculture as a career because high risks are involved. So number of incentives or the schemes by the government, they can convince our youth, they can bring that confidence that agriculture could be a very good profession, it could be a very good career option for them. And government should design adequate policies and legislation for encouraging especially the rural youth interest and participation into the agriculture. Now, I would like to share a few success stories for the youth who are listening to me right now. I wouldn't take much time. You all might have heard about this, seed to seed. This is a story of Shri Jaswinder Singh Sandhu, Mr. Sandhu. He belongs to district Taran Taran of Punjab. So he said that if you are having a talent and a willpower, then nobody can stop you for getting success. He's a postgraduate in agriculture from the Khalsa College in 2007. Then he completed his training from the agri clinics and the agri business centers. And then he chose this business of the seed production. And within a span of, the 3 years, he would clock more than 200 success in such a highly technical and risky business. So he says, if you're having a willpower, you are having a capability, and you have additional set of skills, then no one can stop you. You will see the endless, the possibilities are there. So this what happens in case of Mr. Sandhu. And by 2010, Mr. Sandhu had a truly successful story to tell to everyone. See, I am sharing this story with you. So I will be sharing some of his remarkable achievements, like he got lessons from the government of Punjab for doing seed business in the name of agri-care, and then procured breeder seeds and foundation seed of high-yielding wheat variety from reputed organizations like IARI, Punjab Agriculture University, GB Pant University, etc. And due to the quality and the popularity of the seeds produced by Shri Sandhu, the seeds division of MS Mahindra and Mahindra purchased his seeds and marketed it under their brands. You see, this is a kind of achievement. So this actually further helped him in popularizing the image of agri-care that he started, the brand under which Shri Sandhu conducts the seed business. So such kind of, you will see the endless, the examples of the people who have actually, they succeeded in the agri-business. And there is apple doctor from the Kashmir Valley, Mr. Ishfaq Bukhari, who took life as a challenge to face all the odds in order to restore the economic liberty, of course, for himself and his fellow beings. And he worked relentlessly to establish his venture in the Srinagar. And we know the kind of, the conditions occurring over there. So he actually completed his training. And afterwards, he said he decided to open that agri-clinic to help the farming community beside creating a good business opportunity for himself. So we know that J&K is an agrarian state. So mostly fruit crops are grown there, especially the apple. So which needs many sprays of pesticides and the different kind of the fertilizers to boost up the agriculture productivity and to avoid that, the apple scab. So he said he saw the farmers, they are using they are spraying pesticides, applying fertilizer, and they were just using the seeds recommended by the local agri input dealers. So in majority of the cases, he observed this indiscriminate use of the inputs. So as he himself belongs to this rural area of the Baramulla district, so he understood the problems being faced by the farmers. So that's why during the initial phase of his project, he moved from door to door. See, a success never comes so easy. So you need to put some efforts. So he himself did this, door-to-door campaigning to motivate the farmers to join with him. And as an extension activity, he recommends right doses of the pesticides, fertilizers, seeds, and the other inputs that the farmers can grow their crops in a sustainable manner. And he mobilized almost 500 farmers and has tried to bring them under one association, that is the Apple Planet Agri Clinics. And he's also taking the consultancy from the agri-scientist and the officers for the benefits of the farmer. So likewise, you also need to set some kind of, the examples by getting into this agri, preneur business, This is Mr. Udaybir Singh Rana, 43. He belongs to Haryana State District Karnal, and he quit his actually sale executive job. I have given the number of the examples. The students from the agriculture, they quit agriculture, and then they move towards the other sectors, into the banking sector, into the marketing. And this is just rewards, He quit his sale executive job, and then he did his 2-month residential training program at Indian Society of Agribusiness Professional in Haryana. And then where he observed a scientific procedure of the honey processing, and his interest was triggered. And you wouldn't believe, he invested his own capital of rupees 20 lakh. He registered the honey processing unit by the name of the Ocean Foods. So that's why I have this title is Ocean of Honey. And the capacity of this honey processing unit is around 150 kg per day. And Shri Rana started procuring and processing honey flower-wise. Like the processed honey was catalogued by different brand name. This is mustard honey, lychee honey, neem honey, sunflower honey. And the processing unit is having good storage facility, and skilled labor are engaged in the bottling, in the packaging, and in the labeling. So you can see it is not only about his own source of livelihood. He generated employment for number of people, right? So he says that he's expanding his business according to the availability of the flowers in the state, right? And they're individually contacting the traders, farmers, shopkeepers, either for the procurement or sale of the honey. So this shows at each level, whether you are into a business, into a field, or into a battlefield, it is not only related with the agriculture. If you are into any kind of the profession, you have to put some efforts, right? If you actually want to succeed in that specific area, it requires efforts, right? And now you see the processed honey by him is being sold in different states I mentioned over there. And in the first year itself, the sale was around, rupees 80 lakhs. So you can see, like these kind of examples are the motivation for our youth. Like they can also excel in the same field, right? You just need to get that kind of zeal or that kind of attitude in your mind, right? So there is another example of eco-friendly, the agribusiness blooms in the Himachal. So preserving the, basically, he is doing work mostly in the area of that vermi composting methods. He is spreading awareness among the farmers to use this vermi composting methods for organic farming. So he is discouraging the use of the organophosphorus pesticides or the chemical fertilizers to reduce the adverse impact on the human health as well as on the environment, right? So you see the number of people, they are working in this area and they are quite successful. So that is up to you. What kind of profession you want to choose. But for those, for the youth, I would say I would encourage them to be the part of this agri-business. This could take you to some another level, right? You are having a right attitude for the same because you are born into that farming community. So you are born into that farming community. You are having that thing in your genes, right? Okay, it is already in you. And you have already learned the technique. Now you are having education. Now you are having training. You are equipped with additional set of skills also, right? So you can lead it in a better way than your parents or the grandparents. Okay, they were not having that techniques or the innovations. Now you are having ideas and the innovation, and the youth knows how to use these innovations in a most effective way. So I would like to say investment in the agriculture, they are the best weapons against the hunger and the poverty, and they have made the life better for the billions of the people. So I would like to say at the end of this session, believe in the future of the agriculture with a faith born not out of words but out of deeds, right? You need to carry that kind of faith in the agriculture. And you all as a young minds, you are equipped with the ideas, you are having those specific set of the skills. So you could do a lot better out there in the agri fields. Trust me, you could do, right? And you are the ones who could remove the poverty. You are the ones who could remove the hunger from the world. And you are the ones who could bring the sustainable development. You who could bring the ecological balance in the ecosystem, right? So we all are looking at you, at the youth of our country, to bring that change in the farming, to reshape the farming. We know we are having challenges, but we are having solutions as well, right? So you need to look on the positive side of the things. You need to be very much optimistic, right? And you can take it to the another level where you as a young agripreneurs could be able to generate employability for hundreds or thousands of the people, rather than asking for the jobs, rather than begging for the jobs or looking for the jobs, because you are having that capability. So this is for the youth who is listening to me right now. Always be positive towards farming, right? You are born in it, you are born with it, you are gonna die with it. But before this miles to go, and you need to set an example, and you could do it in a better way, because you are having all the the education, the skills, the training required for the this sustainable kind of agriculture. So with all this, I end now my talk. I hope you might have uh, understood something out of this. This was more like, what I feel, it's more like a motivational talk rather than any, the expert talk, because this is to spread the awareness among the youth of the nation to be a part of this farming system. And they have already set this example during the protest, or we have seen how the our youth, they were actually fighting for their rights. They are still fighting for their rights, and literally they have come up as a entirely different the persons. So the kind of knowledge they were having while the media were interacting with them, and the farmers, I was really even amused by their answers most of the time. We here sitting in the offices and working in the laboratories and setting some examples and doing experimentations, getting some new results, but they are the ones who are actually over there in the field, and they know much more than us. They are so much equipped with the talent, with the intelligence, with the knowledge. And when we just check the quality of the soil to see the soil is acidic or the alkaline in nature, and they are touching it and they say, okay, this is a saline soil, this is acidic, this is that. So that kind of knowledge is there. That is not come with by education. Their life is actually is an education. They are complete institutes in themselves. So the youth, I advise you, to the young ones, to the youth of our nation, to adopt this, the agriculture as their profession. They need to, take this as a job. They need not to take it in some other way. Like if they say, okay, we can't be a part of this system, or we don't like to be get ourselves into the dirt. So this is not a dirt. This is life. It is a way of life. It is a way of living, and you are the ones who are feeding millions, trillions of the population, if I say. So thank you very much. God bless you all. Stay safe.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this valuable session and for your valuable time. So we have few questions from the participants. So the first question is, ma'am, how your institute can help Indian youth in opting agriculture as their career?
Surbi, see, I guess you are Surbi.
Yes, ma'am.
Surbi, you see, this is really a very good question. Our university has started this BSc Agriculture, and this year we are going to start MSc also with different specialization. So we are having our experimental field, and the training is always there. Labs are there. But in actual training, what I already conveyed, that happens when you are into the real field, when you get into the field. I used one phrase in the beginning, when your plow means hull. Yeah, right. So when your plow is your pencil, the things seems might easy, but it's not easy. When you are thousands miles away from your cornfield, from your wheat field, things are very easy. So merely sitting in the laboratories and writing with the pencils and checking the answer sheet, that makes agriculture look very easy, but it's a kind of battlefield, right? And at our university, we are actually inculcating the technical and the skills in our students. They are out there in the field, they are having their own experimental field, they set up their experiments. So what we teach them in the classrooms, so they are learning the practical aspects of the theory being taught in the classroom. So that kind of training is there. And most importantly, our university has done tie-ups with many training institutes, not only in the area of this agriculture, but in other areas. You're just agriculture, and AEEFWS is also one of them. So recently we have signed this MOU with just agriculture, and such kind of, I said in the beginning, like we need to bridge that gap. What is required out there in the market, right? What we are providing to our students, we need to bridge that gap. And that gap only can be filled if we actually equip our students with certain kind of the skills. So education they are having, but we need to give them the additional set of the skills. And this is what we are doing at Rayat and Bahra University. We are actually equip them with the certain set of the skills so that they could be best fitted out there when they are in the market. So they fulfill their job, the expectations, the market expectations, what they're expecting from our youth. They are having all those additional set of skills.
Okay, ma'am. So the next question is, how can girls become entrepreneur in field of agriculture or environmental science?
Okay. I said during this lecture, this is not only about the involvement of the women in the agriculture. The role of the women in agriculture, that is not underestimated. We know since the ages, the women, they are playing a very significant role in the agriculture. They are working in the field, along with the men. They are actually the center of the agriculture, if I say. So for countries like India, the women, they are highly involved into all the agricultural activities. But yes, when it comes to the entrepreneurship, there are the examples of the women also who have, excelled into the agri-business. But yes, they are not that much, open to come forward and to, show it to the public. Their, children, their brothers, or their parents, especially I am talking about the male ones, the father, brother, or husband, they are the ones who are at the front line. So that is always there. So this is for the women to come forward. Okay, so they need to create their own niche. This is not the time for them to, the step back or to feel shy nowadays. So yes, the youth, that is very much important. And we have seen the number of the examples, even the during this farmer protest, when their parents, their fathers or the brothers, they were doing protest in the Delhi, and there were the the wives or the daughters or the sisters, they were there in the field, they were on the tractors, and they were doing the plowing, harvesting. So already the role of the women, we can't ignore in the agriculture. They are already in the agriculture. But yes, we are living in a male dominating society. So yes, always the male, or when we talk about the youth, we always talk about, okay, we are talking about the boys. So it's not only about the boys. So that's why we use this word youth. So it includes both the women and the men in the agriculture. And when it comes to the environmental sciences, that is entirely different field. In the environmental sciences, they can work in the the wildlife field. They can be the ecologist. They can work in the state and the central pollution control board. Again, that depends upon their the area of the specialization. And they can work at the government sector as well as the private sector. They can get themselves associated in the research projects. They can be they can set up their own business. right? A number of examples are there. Even if I talk about in my area, in the Kharad or in the Mohali, district Mohali, we are having a number of, the small scale industries are there where the women are leading and they are setting examples in the sewage treatment plants, industrial wastewater treatment plants. So that is already there. But yes, we need to empower the women, undoubtedly. And for that, it is only women who can change its own future. So if we will keep preaching and talking about all these things through this virtual platform, trust me, it's not going to change anything unless we get there into the field and we change the system. And for this, yes, we need to spread the awareness.
Absolutely, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So the next question is, what are your views about these type of trainings by Just Agriculture, and how we can make the students of North India, especially the Punjab students, to become entrepreneur rather than going to abroad?
I already, if you have listened to my presentation, I have already communicated this thing. Brain drain is there in India. So we are having, the youth with intelligence, with education, with required skills. But the kind of ambience they are not getting over here, right? So the technological advancement is there, but money is the limitation, right? So a number of factors I have already discussed, which are actually limiting our youth to be the part of this farming profession. But yes, when they are out there, they are getting all the facilities. They are at ease, right? They feel comfortable. And when you are in your own country, you feel like you are the owner of your, the land. Even you are having a piece of land, you feel like that ownership is always there. But when you are moving to some other country, what you feel like, this is a general mentality, nobody is watching over me. So they are in other countries, they would like to, even to wash the toilets, and which they would never like to do in India, even in their own homes. So this is actually happening in the reality. So when they are out there, they are having those skills, they are getting more money. Of course, money is also one of the reasons. So they are putting more than their 100% into the same profession, which they are simply disliking by living in India. So that brain drain we can only stop if the government intervene over here, and to start up with the startup schemes or providing, incentives or loans to the youth so that they can start their own business. Once they will get that feel of, the agripreneurship, definitely they will get that kind of confidence, and they will feel like they are not at risk, and they are having that, the fixed source of income is there, and they can excel in that area. Otherwise it will keep happening like this, only merely again counseling the students or counseling the youth is not going to help unless they will be provided something actually in their hands, with the money, with the schemes. So for this, the government needs to come forward and to set an example for our youth, so that our youth, they work in our country and take it to some another level.
Okay, ma'am. So the last question of the session is, don't you think in views of increasing population, numbers are equal importance to quantity of production must be given, as you mentioned about the quality of the same?
Yes. See, we always care for the quality. Okay? So in India, we always say we are the second largest populated country in the world. We are already feeding millions of, the people, and to the other countries as well. That is a different thing. We are suffering with the poverty and hunger is there, but we are not at that much worst place, right? And when it comes to the quality is something different. Quantity is already there. We are already focused on the quantity, and while we are looking for the quantity, we are losing the quality, right? And when we are focused on the quality, that doesn't mean we are losing the quantity. Quantity is always there, right? So if if a farmer is having 40 acre of land, right? So 40 acre land, the generation would be similar if he would be focused more on the quality. So quality is about the nutritional content of the wheat. And if the food is, highly nutritional, right? And we are using, we are going organics, or we are using biopesticides or biofertilizers. So definitely we are enhancing the soil fertility, right? So this is about the soil conservation. This is about the environment conservation. This is to maintain the, the microflora of the soil, right? So at the same time, by going organic or by enhancing the quality of the wheat or any grain, we are increasing the quality of the soil. So if the soil fertility is there, soil quality is good, definitely quantity would be on the higher side. So ultimately, why farmers they are using this synthetic fertilizer or the pesticide? Just to boost up the agriculture productivity. But on the other hand, we are having the biopesticides and the biofertilizers, and farmers themselves, they are very much, involved into making the natural manures. Even they are preparing their the biopesticides. So if they use those biopesticides and the the biofertilizers, it enhances the soil fertility. That will ultimately result into the increased production. So yield will be enhanced. So quality and the quantity, they both are directly related with each other. You can't say if we will focus more on the quality, then quantity would be decreased. Quantity, in fact, I feel that would be enhanced, that would be increased.
Okay, ma'am. So we have covered all the questions from the participants. So thank you so much, ma'am, for this valuable session and for your valuable time. So thank you so much, ma'am. Have a
Thank
lovely
you
day.
very much. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Stay safe. And I would like to say, Corona is not gone. It is still out there. So mask up and stay safe, right? And it's your for own safety. So thank you very much. God bless you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So our final orator, Dr. Keshav Mehra, is here. Some of his national awards include that he is awarded with gold medal by SKRAU Bikaner for standing the first position in university merit at the Master of Science Agriculture. He has been awarded with Best Poster Presentation Award in National Conference organized by Soil Conservation Society of India. He has also been awarded with Scientist Associate Award in national conferences organized by Astha Foundation, Meerut. Best Paper Award in National Web Conference on Technological Approaches for Resource Conservation and Management for Environmental Sustainability. Young Scientist Award in the International Web Conference organized by Society for Scientific Development in Agriculture and Technology. Some of his professional societies include a Life Fellow of the Entomological Society of India, Indian Society for Arid Horticulture, ICAR, Bikaner, Society for Scientific Development in Agriculture and Technology, Association of Agrometeorologists, AAU, Gujarat. He has been honored by BioInfo Publications as Associate Editor of International Journal of Agricultural Sciences. He has been honored by Just Agriculture magazine as editorial board member of Entomology Specialization. So thank you so much, sir, for joining today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Subhi Madam, for this nice introduction. Very good evening to all the participants. And first, I want to say thanks to the Dr. DPS Badwal, President of this AEEFWS Society, and the course director, Dr. Mohit Bharadwaj, an organizer and team of Just Agriculture and Society. I hope all the participants are enjoying this 15 days international training or advances in agripreneurship and skill development for reshaping future of Indian agriculture. This is the big opportunity provided by this society and the India's most rising agriculture magazine, Just Agriculture, to all the participants from country and abroad. So without taking too much time, I can start my presentation. So my voice is, I think, audible to all the participants, and the screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir, the screen is visible. Could you please tell a little louder? The voice is a little bit tracking.
Okay. Now it's clear. Now it's louder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I want to interact with the participants on the entrepreneurship and agriculture from honey to money. So these are some facts and figures. The well-renowned scientists, physics scientists, tell about the beekeeping. If the bee disappeared off the surface of the globe, then man would only have 4 years of life left. So he also know the importance of bee and beekeeping at that time. If there is no more bees, no more pollination, no more plants, no more animals, no more man. I think all the participants are familiar with the term pollination because this is the very important process which can take place between the male and female gametes. In the result of fertilization, the fruit setting has been done. So in the absence of pollination or in the absence of pollinators like bee, the yield cannot be increased by any means if they are applying more number of pesticides, fertilizers, but ultimately yield cannot be increased. So this is the fact about the beekeeping. Now I am talking about some facts about the honey and honey production. So the global market size of natural honey is $8.4 million, and it projected to reach $10.3 million in the year 2025, with an expected CAGR, means compound annual growth rate, is around 4.8%. Globally, around 1,800 metric tons of honey is produced. China is the major producing country of this honey. 28% comes from this country, followed by the Turkey, Iran, and US. India gets 6th position in the honey production. There is a total 3.5% of global production. During the last decades, India export of honey has been increased $56.2 million to $100.8 million. It is experiencing growth rate of 6.5% per annum. This is the higher than the world export growth. So these are some facts about the honey. And I want to share, there's one interesting fact about this COVID phase when all the people are facing this pandemic from 2019 onwards. The consumption of honey has been increased manifold because we felt the need of the immunoboosting, and honeys play a vital role to build up a immunity in human beings. So in year 2020 to 2025, it will be 7.26% increasing according to CAGR. So these are the major exporter and importer countries of honey. China is the major exporter of honey. It export $235 million honey as compared to the India. It is only 100.87. While in case of import of the honey, USA is at the first position because the net consumption of honey is is high as compared to the India. These are some facts about the export and importer countries. So when we are talking about the 10 most producer country of honey, China takes first position with the production of 489,400 metric tons, while India is producing only 63,700 metric tons of honey. The gap between India and China is very high when we are comparing the production volume of honey, because there is a lot of biodiversity is among the India. So some areas favor the beekeeping, but some areas do not favor the beekeeping. That's why this difference has been occurred. So these are top consumer of honey in the world. Even we are at the stage of 6th in terms of honey production, but in the case of consumption, we are not distant into the most 10 countries, because the consumption of honey in India is very low. It is only 50 grams per year globally. But when we are talking about the global level, it ranges from 250 to 300 grams, but in India it is only 50 grams per year. When we are talking about the Asia, Japan is the biggest consumer of the honey with per capita consumption of up to 900 grams per year. So this is the export of natural honey from India. It's the status of India. The major honey exporting state is Rajasthan, followed, it is Delhi followed by Rajasthan, then Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, and Punjab. Delhi contributes 75.98% honey in all among the exporting states. While we are talking about the USA obtains 79.71% honey from India, followed by the Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bangladesh, and Canada. As we are talking about this pandemic situation, the country has exported around 60,000 metric ton of natural honey to the world for worth of rupees 716 crore millions during the year 2020 and 21. This fold has been increased due to pandemic, so people will felt the need of this honey for the boosting the immunity. So this is the history of beekeeping. Beekeeping is not a new things for the human beings. We have already started 10,000 years ago. But that time we don't have scientific and technological knowledge of this beekeeping. So that time they totally destroy the comb for the taking honey. But in 18th century, Europeans, they understand the biology of the bees, so they easily collect the honey without destroying their combs. Then in 19th century, the scientist name is Lancelot has discovered movable hives for the beekeeping. This caused the most revolution in the industry of beekeeping. After that, production has been increased manifold. These are some important honeybee species which are found in India. The first one is rock bee, scientific name is Apis dorsata. The production capacity of this bee is 36 kg honey per comb per year. Indian bee, which is very common in Indian situation, this is Apis serena indica. The yield potential of bee is 5 kg honey per year per hive. Little bee, which is also very common in Indian situation, it is Apis florea. It is give only 0.5 kg honey per year per hive. European or Italian bee, which is imported from the European or country or from the Italy, which is most widely used species for the beekeeping because the production capacity is very high as compared to the other two species. Rock bee is also production is very high, 36 kg per honey, but this species cannot be domesticated. It is a wild species and it is very aggressive in nature. So Indian bee and European or Italian bee has been domesticated, but the yield potential in Indian bee is very low as compared to the European or Italian bee. So this is the structure of beehives made by these four species. Rock bee made their hives on high latitudes in the upper side of the big buildings or in the tall trees. They make only a single combs. While in the case of Indian bee or European bee, they make parallel combs. While in case of little bee, they make only small combs. So the yield potential is very low as compared to these three species. Before starting any business, because this business is totally depend on the living things, so we have to understand the life cycle of bee, how they are living, how they are behaving. So this is a slideshow about the life cycle and caste system in bee. The human beings are social animals. This insect also acts as a social. It is a totally new social insect. Three types of caste system has been found. One is male and two are female. And the complete metamorphosis has been found is female laid eggs converted into the larva, then larva converted into pupa, and the pupa ultimately converted into the adults. Adults may be male, female, or worker female. So female laid their eggs in the comb cells. Then the larval periods, it's around 6 days from first stage, then 10 days for second stage, then pupa prevail for 18 days. Then on 21 days onwards, female or male has been come out from this cells. So there is a caste system. Brawn is the male. The main function of the male is to fertilize the females, while only a queen, which is a reproductive or it is a fertile female. The work of this female is giving or produces the progenies to make the heterogeneity in the comb. The main function of queen is lays eggs, and the worker or fertilized females, they take care of larvae and they build up combs, clean and repair of nest forage. The male unfertilized, it is unfertilized male. The work is only mating with the queens. They are present in 100 to 150 numbers in a single colony, and only a single queen has been presented in a colony. And worker, which is the main or most important part of beekeeping, they present in the number of 10,000 to 50,000, because they are going for the forage, for the collection of the pollen and nectar, which is the most important part of beekeeping. So this is the distribution of bee species. The Apis florea and Apis serena indica and Apis dorsata, which is commonly found in the Indian conditions, while in the Apis mellifera is very common in the African conditions. Or while we are talking about the US states, the imported Apis mellifera is already presented in these countries. So honey is not only the important product of the beekeeping, they indirectly also affect the yield in different vegetable and horticulture, or as well as from the field crops. On an average, it increases the yield from 20% to up to the 7,000%. While you can feel the importance of beekeeping, and especially in the crops like lychee, in apple and pears, like in the different vegetable crops like onion and brinjal, they increase the yield in many folds. In the absence of these pollinators, which is at honeybee, the yield is increased very drastically. So the use of pesticides in the field directly affect the movement of the pollinators. So the judicious use of fertilizer as well as the pesticides is very important, as well as the concern of pollinators. So these are the bee products, honey, which we all much aware about this product. And second one is propolis, third one is pollen, bee wax, royal jelly, and bee venom. These are the products which when received from the beekeeping or from the apiculture. We will discuss one by one these bee products. So the first one, and that is the most common one, is honey. The composition of his honey, it is the very good substitute for the table sugar, because it's contain very less amount of sucrose. It is only 1.5%, but it contains 38.2% fructose and 31% glucose, which is a very good substitute for the table sugar. Generally, a myth has been very common in general papers, which do not have very idea about the honey or beekeeping. Actually, we felt that the color of honey, if yellow, then we felt it is a good honey. But it is not true all the times, because the color of honey totally depend on the honey sources, from which plant honey is collecting pollen and nectars. When we are talking about the cotton or eucalyptus, the color of honey is become white. When we are talking about the mustard, it become yellow or light yellow. So in the case of persimmon, jamun, the color may be varied as compared to tamarind or sesame. So types of honey, marketing point of view, extracted honey means After the collection of honey from comb, it is a raw honey. After the process of filtration, some impurities has been discarded by different mechanism. So that honey is called as extracted honey. It may be in the form of liquid or it may be crystallized honey. There's a single difference between liquid honey and crystallized honey is crystal has been presented into the crystallized honey, while in liquid honey there is no more crystals, which is very common for the use. Crystallized honey is not so common in Indian conditions, but in foreign countries they are using for the breakfast purposes. So comb honey. Now people like comb honey. Means they cut the comb and directly packed into these boxes. This is the snapshot where they are selling 26.95 rupees dollar only for the 400 grams. Now they are so the people take totally fresh honey. So these are available in different form like section comb honey, individual section comb honey, bulk comb honey, and cut comb honey and chunk honeys. These are the different forms of comb honeys, which is nowadays is very common. So this is the use of honey for the household purposes. It is used as a butter, honey butter, carrot salad with different forms in honey jam, in formation of honey candy, also used for the in the use in the ice cream, so use on the chocolates or honey gadgets has been made. So now in this pandemic, we can focusing on the health benefits. So when we are talking about the export of the honey and the import of honey, we are not importing honey because we are producing a good amount of honey, but export is quite high as compared to the production, just because the per capita consumption is very low. The benefits of honey is very common nowadays. Blood sugar regulation, act as a probiotics, beautiful for the beautiful skin, or for the soothing of cough, antibacterial, antifungal action, reduces ulcer, helps with the seasonal allergies, heals burns, for the treatment of wounds, etc. So the second one is important one is propolis and the bee glue, also known as bee glue. So how this bee has been formed, we all must aware about how the honey has been prepared. The workers of the honeybees goes for the foraging. Then they have collected pollen and nectars from the different plants. Then they have converted it into honey. So they also collected propolis, or I can say bee glue. Bee glue is required for the maintenance of their combs. So they go for the trees. They collected waxy consistent collected from the buds of the trees. Then they come up from their combs. Then they use it as for the repairing or maintenance of the hives. So propolis composition, it contains 50% of resins, which is a gelatinous material, and it contains 30% wax, 10% essential oils, 5% pollen and organic compounds. It also contains different vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin B complex, bioteins, and different type of minerals like calcium, iron, zinc, silica, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, which is very good for the building. Now we are talking about the zinc. It is also a good source of iron and zinc. So these are the uses of propolis. Propolis is not useful for the us. It is also useful for the honeybee also, because it promotes beneficial microbiomes, homeostasis, and physical protection. In the case of human beings, it is act as antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-geogenic and anti-proliferative. So these also can be important product of beekeeping. Bee pollen. So the main work of honeybee is collection of the pollens and nectar. This pollen also useful for the human beings because it contains 30% digestible carbohydrates, 26% sugars, and very rich source of protein. It contains around 23% of proteins. As I have mentioned, it is a very good source of protein, fats, and salts. So it is very good for the human health. So in honeybee, it is required for the development of the ovary because the capacity, because the queen is only acting as a egg laying machine because they give only eggs. So the bee pollen uses what we can use: increasing longevity by neutralizing free radicals, effective aphrodisiac, help clear acne, increase muscles growth, high nutrition may help to improve fertility, increase strength, endurance, and energy, reduces the production of histamine. So these are the different uses of bee pollen. So next one is bee wax. Sorry. Next one is bee wax. Actually, wax has been used by the bee for the capping of the comb and also used for the maintenance of the comb. The comb has been totally made by the wax. So this wax also used by the human beings for the formation of different products. To produce one part of wax, we have to consume about 4 to 7 times more as they eat for the production of honey itself. So you can feel the importance of this wax. In the absence of this wax, they cannot form the this comb. So it is very important in respect of beekeeping. It is a very important part of any comb. So these are the major uses of bee wax. It is act as a antibacterial, antifungal, or anti-allergic for relieving pain, protects the liver. This scientific study has been occurred some few years back. It is also used for the repair of skin allergies and skin related problems. The very this wax is also used for the formation of this artificial combs and this very candles, and it is also used for the in the raw forms also. Royal jelly, which is the very important byproduct received from the beekeepings. It is a specific product generated for a specific work, and that is to make a queen bee from the common larva. Actually, when we are talking about the life cycle of this honeybee, queen is made by the feeding of this royal jelly. After egg hatching, all larva has been common, but when the workers of this colony have started feeding to the royal jelly to the larva, this larva has been converted into the queen bee, while in the other larva of the honeybee, they fed only bee breads of honey, so they cannot convert it into the queens. So this is the chemical composition of royal jelly. Why this is so important is because it is a very good source of protein and sugars. It contains trace animals, trace minerals like antibacterial, antibiotic component. Also, it contains different vitamins, vitamin B5 and vitamin B6. Royal jelly also contained different variety of nutrients. It's also provided antioxidant, lowering cholesterol levels, and skin repairs. It's also has a anti-aging effects. So it can consume as in a fresh form, or it is also used in the processed form. The first one is the fresh form. Second one is processed form. So the bee venom. We all afraid about the sting of these bees, but this sting also is very useful because the bee venom is collected from this bees. It is very useful in the medical sector. As I mentioned, this have three different castes: as a queen and the workers and the bronze. So the stings also only have this workers, while the sting is absent in the bronze and bee queen. So it contains 52% lipid, 50% peptides, and 45% mineral composition, and 40% proteins and the other contains. So it's not only used in the process form, it is also this venom. It is also used for the other medical purposes. Actually, this venom contains mainly volatile compounds, which is lost easily during the collection. So the collection of this venom is very difficult. So required different technical guidance and scientific knowledge for the collection of this bee venom. This is the bee venom collecting machine. You can see this is the glass. Below this glass there is a iron wires or steel wires has been presented, in which current of the lower voltage has been floated in these wires. This has been placed near the hives. When this worker bee has been seated on this machine, they felt little current of lower voltage, so they started sting on this this plate. After that, this venom has been collected. In the case of normal sting, actually the sting of honeybee is a modified ovipositor. So if you felt whenever a bee has been sting on human body, they left their sting in our skin, or after that this sting, it had been died. So in this machine, because it is a solid surface, so the ovipositor has not been deposited on this surface. So worker has been remain alive. They are not died after the ejection of this venom. So this machine has been made up for the collection of bee venom, which is sold on different names like bee venom, or in the form of cream, or it is also form in the form of spray. So before starting this beekeeping as a business, you have to take technical or scientific knowledge of this beekeeping. So from where you can take such type of knowledge, you can take courses, you can take courses or certificate courses or trainings through these organizations like National Bee Board certificate courses offered by IGNU. This is certificate in beekeeping, and this is our NGO located in New Delhi, Arya Gramodyog Sansthan, Bharat Honeybee Center Training Program, Kerala located, Sara Gramodyog Sansthan, Saharanpur, UP, Khadi and Village Industries Commission, and different ICR institutes, KVKs, SAUs, and NGOs and ICR also give this such type of trainings to the farmers or the interested candidates who started to start as a beekeepers. So at least you can give minimum 15 days to understand the different beekeeping techniques, so you can get different products of beekeeping. So you can take trainings from these institutes. Sweet Revolution, it is government initiation taken by the central government as a Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is National Beekeeping and Honey Mission, started from 2020-21 onwards. It's taken for the consecutive 3 years. Government already approved 500 crore rupees for this mission. The main objective of this National Beekeeping and Honey Mission is to promote the beekeeping industry as a income and employment generating asset. It is also to enhance the agricultural horticulture production, as I already mentioned. It is also not only produces this type of products, they also increases the yield in different crops. It's in this mission, they are already built up 16 different integrated beekeeping development centers in Jammu and Kashmir, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Delhi, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, MP, Bihar, Manipur, West Bengal, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, for the complete development of the beekeepers. As per the latest government estimate, it is a very important large-scale employment has been generated by these beekeeping sectors. It is around 3 lakh main working days by maintaining 10,000 bee colonies. Even with 100 bee colonies, the annual income can range between 3 to 5 lakh rupees for the beekeepers. And it also provides 75,000 main days for employment generation, indirect from like manufacturing of these bee boxes and bee frames, like formation of wax combs and etc. Indirectly, they also provide employment generations. So the another one is honey mandi. It is a very innovative concept, has been developed by the Haryana government. So this is a private umbrella for the honey traders. So this is already established in Kurukshetra, will integrate around 5,000 beekeepers of the state, helping them with marketing and sell online other agriculture products. And the important point of this honey mandi is, if the honey has been sold below the fixed price of the government, the price difference of honey is given by the government itself, because the minimum MSP is not declared for the honey, so the difference has been borne by the government itself. So I don't go for the technical and scientific knowledge about this beekeeping. This is the thumb rules. 5 thumb rules has been suggested by the National Bee Board. It is called 5 freedoms we can provide it to the honeybee before starting a beekeeping as a business. Freedom from hunger and thirst. Very important first point, because in the absence of food, the food for the honeybee is pollen and nectar. In the absence of pollen and nectar, they cannot produce the honey. So we have to provide proper food and water for the, because this is the topmost requirement for the beekeeping. Freedom for discomfort, because they do not survive on the very much lower temperature and very much higher temperature. So in the case of winters, we provide or we can place in these boxes into the sunlight, or in the case of summer, we can place these boxes into the shelter, so they do not feel discomfort, so they can work easily. Otherwise, if there is a higher temperature in the bee boxes, they started flight, they move their wings very fastly in the boxes to reduces the temperature. So they spend their lot of energy in the maintenance of the temperature. So we can provide shelters for the bee, so they can do their primary work, which is collection of the pollen and nectars. Freedom from pain, injury, and diseases. Bee should be given proper medical care. Means they should be placed away from the crowd areas or away from the this is a highway area, so they cannot injured due to the traffic or due to the other obstacles. Freedom to express normal behavior. should be free from their usual behavior or exercise. Means they should be placed nearby the crops so they cannot run more for the collection of this food. Freedom for fear and distress. After starting off this beekeeping as a business, you can see from the Google or from the other sites, initially they wear all the preventive measures, like they wear gloves, they wear special bee suit or bee veil for the protection against the bee. After that, they become more familiar with these honeybees. So the honeybees also started to understand their beekeepers. So after that, they do not wear such type of preventive measures or like this bee veils or this type of suits. So these are the 5 freedoms which we can provide to the this beekeepers or honeybees for the successful establishment of apiculture unit. So these are thanks a lot of to all the participants for being here. Last point is which is not mentioned in the slides. Before starting this beekeeping as a business, you can take different subsidies from your respective agriculture department or from the state departments, and government also provided subsidy or financial assistance through the different boards like national bee boards and the different government or nationalized bank also provided financial assistance in the form of loan to the beekeepers if they are starting to start this size type of business. This is all from my side. Any questions or any queries regarding this beekeeping, please ask freely.
Thank you, sir. There are many questions from the participants. Should I ask?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so the first question is how one can protect honeybee colonies from bacterial and viral diseases?
It is different antibiotics has been available like streptocycline and tetracycline has been used for the protection against the different bacterial diseases. It is depend on the disease, which actually different type of sac root diseases and bacterial disease has been occurred. So it is depend on the disease, which disease has been found in this bee colony.
Okay, sir. The next question is, what will be initial cost if I want to opt apiculture as enterprise?
Yeah, good question. Initially, the cost is quite high as compared to the other business because beekeeping required higher amount of money for the establishment of beekeeping, like purchase of bee boxes, purchase of bee colonies, purchase of frames. Initially, if as a beekeeper, I have started a business with 100 bee boxes, the initial cost is around 400 to 4.5 lakhs. But onward years, we do not require to purchase bee boxes and bee colonies because this colonies has been replicated very rapidly. So we do not require any boxes or any colonies. You can also, after the multiplication of bee colonies, you also sell these bee colonies or queens also. So the initial cost is quite high. After that, this is the permanent assets.
Okay, sir. What challenges agripreneurs will face in the field of apiculture?
Yeah, actually, in the case of honey, which is the major product received from the beekeeping, actually there is already established companies has been in their market. So we have to compete with a new idea or in a innovative idea, like packaging, like we are focusing on the organic production of honey, or you can sell specified honey which is taken from the different crops like ajwain honey, neem honey, lychee honey. So you can get better price as compared to the normal honey has been selling into the market. These are major challenges.
Okay, sir. The next question is how apiculture can be helpful to the small and marginal farmers?
Yeah, it is very useful. It is very useful for the small and marginal farmers because it do not require any land. You just need a boxes of the wooden. Only you require only wooden boxes. You can just place into the other farmers' fields, and they will allow you. They will allow you just because of that. Because as I already mentioned, because it also increases the yield of the horticulture as well as field crops in many folds. So the other farmers will allow you. You can place your boxes in my field. So we small and marginal farmers do not require any land.
The next question is, sir, many cases of honey adulteration are reported in India in 2021 itself. Post-COVID, the consumption of honey increased, but beekeepers complained that the procurement of raw honey from them did not increase significantly. Please tell us about this.
Yeah, during this pandemic, we felt the importance of this honey because it is a very good immunobooster. So adulteration takes place. So that's why the beekeepers has been sold directly to the consumers in the form of raw. As I already mentioned, they directly provided this the com section, as I mentioned in the slide, they directly sell. So the consumer directly extracted honey from that com. So this is the form of raw honey. So that's why we can sell such type of products. So the customers also must be ensured that we are getting the good quality honey. So we can sell such type of products also.
Okay, sir. The last question is, how chemical pesticide application affect honeybees?
A very good question. Very, very good question. Actually, pesticides directly affect the movement of this honeybee. If you are applying the participant which are much aware about this, if they are aware about the different group of insecticides like organochlorine, which group was recently banned by the government. This is directly affect the movement of this honeybee. The percent mortality has been increased if they are applied endosulfan or any other organochlorine compound. The studies has been also conducted for this new group of insecticide, that is neonicotinoids, which is very commonly used by the farmers like imidacloprid or thimerosal, etc. When they are applied into the crop, they affect the movement of honeybee and the mortality has been occurred. So it is my suggestion, if there is a high percentage of honeybee present into the field, you can go for the botanicals or the other organic compounds. So the yield potential also not deteriorate and the quality of the honey has not been deteriorated. So apply different organic methods to control the pest and diseases.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. We are done with the questions.
Thank you.
It was really an amazing and informative learning experience. Thank you once again for joining us for this session and giving your valuable time.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the 14th day of the International Training Program. On behalf of Just Agriculture team, I deliver my heartfelt gratitude to all the speakers and participants for joining the session and being so patient and attentive throughout. In conclusion, I would like to thank Dr. DPS Badwal sir, CEO and founder of Just Agriculture, for organizing this revolutionary international training program for all of us. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.